author, I'm Kate Thomas, 630K How.
Freshen up your playlist this spring with Audible Plus. Listen all you want to thousands of select Audible originals, audiobooks, podcasts, and more. Start a free 30-day Audible Plus trial when you sign up at audible.com.
Season after season, quality's the reason people trust K&H Home Solutions. Beautiful windows, siding, and doors, roofing, gutters, and
The more you buy, the more you save. In honor of Mother's Day from K&H Home Solutions. Buy a door, 25% off. Add soft light windows, 30% off. The only window named Energy Partner of the Year for sustained excellence 7 years running, 30% off. Or give the whole house a facelift with 35% off windows, siding, and doors. Plus, you're dealing with a company 65 years strong. The best products, installation, and warranties. Windows, roofing, siding, and doors. K&H has what you're looking for. Massive discounts this month only. Make your own appointment at khwindows.com. That's khwindows.com.
K&H Home Solutions has what you're looking for.
The Ribble Group sells homes faster and for the most money. Go to GAYE, spelled G-A-Y-E, hasthebuyers.com.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, stock. That's stock. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win with a $12K a day giveaway. This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help, I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. Hey, I got a special deal for you, realcbdthatworks.com. If you want to try out those gummies, they're cherry bombs, they're called. You can put gummy, G-U-M-M-Y, in the promo code, and you get them for half price. And that's only this month for the next 15 days or so. So you put G-U-M-M-Y in the promo code, and you get these gummies 50% off. That's gummy bears. They're called cherry bombs. They're so cool. And it's real CBD. Makes you feel great. It also is an anti-inflammatory, and it fights pain and anxiety. realcbdthatworks.com. We have a lot to talk about today, folks. Welcome. Now listen, I want to say something because I promise you, I really mean this. I'm sincerely, as my mom would say, I swear on my soul. Okay, let me just explain something. I promise you, I have no dog in a political fight, nor do I care at this point, okay? You may hate me for that, and maybe you think I have to take a stand, but listen, I'm just sick and tired of going back and forth. But here's what I want to say. I am vaccinated. I got the Pfizer shot, both of them. I complied with all the mandates. I did what people told me to do. I didn't want to rock the boat, okay? I'm not sick. COVID is it's serious. Nobody wants to get sick. Suzanne had it. She still has problems with smell and taste. I mean, nobody's going to downplay this. You're stupid if you downplay it, okay? But I do believe, honest to God, I do believe, though, that we have a problem because... can you help me there? We have a problem because it gave powers to unelected officials who now are reluctant to give up those powers. You may not think so, but they are. First of all, I think it's just absolutely stupid that we have different mask dates or mandates for different counties. So here's what we have. The federal mandate, the CDC mandate, which is different than the president's mandate. Not now, it isn't. They coincide. But the president gets a mandate. The CDC gets a mandate. Your governor gets a mandate. Each county gets a mandate. And then each city gets a mandate. Now, that's pretty damn confusing. And now they're letting companies have a mandate. Does that make sense to anybody? Now, Denver, for example. You still have to wear masks in places. Why? Why? I don't... See, this is what I don't understand. And this is where people, I think, get pissed off. And listen, I'm not one who says, oh, it's my freedom, I'm not going to wear it. I mean, I have my own thoughts on it, but it's pretty clear that masks help a little, okay? So any little bit that helps, I don't mind. I don't mind. But don't play with me. Do you feel played with? Please, this is not a political discussion. There is a known fact that in order, listen, I'm vaccinated. I urge people to get vaccinated. You know, I do. I don't think there's a big downside. Okay, now, you might strongly disagree with me. You may strongly agree. That's just my opinion. No, I wouldn't make it mandatory where you can't do things. But here's what I want to say. In order to make... It's just... Okay, in order to make it look like vaccinations are being more effective, they announced that cases were down 45%. They weren't. If you measured the cases exactly the same as you did in the beginning, the cases would only be down a very small percentage. Honest to God, I'm not lying to you. I will stake my career on it. If I am lying or misrepresenting, I will quit. The CDC or the World Health Organization originally set the PCR testing to 45 CTs. Those are cycles of testing. That's not what CT stands for. But what a CT is an amplification cycle. And I'm trying to educate you, honest to God, don't tune out. This is important. Please do your research. So if they multiplied it 45 times and found a viral particle, you were considered a COVID case. Whether you were asymptomatic or not, you were quarantined. And it counted as a case. After Biden was sworn in, and I'm not saying it was political, they reduced the CT count, saying that there's no evidence that people over 24 CTs will transmit the disease, so they lowered it. Okay. After the vaccine came out, they lowered it once again. It's just plain disingenuous for Fauci to say, we have empirical proof, cases are down 45%. Their measurement system is different than it was. Now, I'm not saying cases aren't down. They're down. Thank goodness. Thank you for the vaccine. Thank you for the control. Thank you for the shut-ins. Whatever you guys want, all of you that crave control, you know, thank you for the control, okay? But they're playing you. They're manipulating data so you feel protected and that it was a success. Well, it was a success, just not as much as they're saying. Just know that, okay? And then can someone tell me why Denver is different than everywhere else in the country? Why is that? Why? I think the mayor's office owes us an explanation, or the health department. I really want to know, not as a troublemaker. I want to know why Denver is different. Why? It just befuddles me. I don't know why. And why does Home Depot, no matter where you are, still going to require masks? This is where people get pissed off, because it's inconsistent. Here's what I would like. I would like the Center for Disease Control to just mandate all over. Okay? I mean, why not? I know some areas are hot pockets, but the CDC knows that. Let them handle it. It's too weird to keep track of all these little power grabs. Everything I'm saying is absolute truth. This is the only show you will get where there is no political spin. And I beg you to make a comment, because you need to know this stuff. Now let's talk about HOAs. We talk about everything on this show. This was an HOA landscaping issue. Mark, what's going on with you, sir? What's happening? Are you there, Mark?
Done.
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead, sir. I can hear you.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you for having me on, first of all.
Yes, sir.
I was wondering, I did my landscape. I got approved back in October of 19. It's been a year and a half, and my HOA is now
Wait, what happened? Hold on. What happened in October?
Back in October is when I got it approved. I sent my approval in, got my landscaping approved.
Oh, your plan. Okay. So, Mark, you live in what kind of a community? Is it single-family homes?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so community, so you had your landscaping plan approved. Keep going.
Okay. Last year, August, my neighbors started doing their landscaping in their backyard.
Yeah.
They put sod in. They started running basically 20 minutes per zone to keep their grass going, whatever. My yard takes on, the drainage is supposed to go through the middle of my yard. They're saying now my wall has caused them to flood in their yard.
Now, hold on. Mark, let me ask you this. You had a landscaping plan that was approved, including that wall.
Yep.
And you put in what kind of a wall?
It's a decorative wall. They are calling it a retaining wall.
Okay.
The difference on there.
Now,
my wall is maybe 18 inches.
All right. Now, it's not so much how high the wall is, but how deep it is. Just let me explain something. There are natural peaks and valleys in land, swales, whatever. And these are, and some of them are on purpose for drainage. Every subdivision, I know this because I developed subdivisions for many years, you have to submit a drainage plan and you can't alter it. Okay? They're municipalities are very picky on drainage plans. And if you establish a new community, you have to take all the water from the previous drain and you have to move it through your property. So it's the one at the end that gets the most responsibility. Now, why am I saying this? Because I'm just going to tell you this. Whether your landscaping was approved or not, if you altered the drainage, you would be responsible if you altered the drainage according to a drainage plan. Now, keep going.
Okay. I'm not sure if I have or not. The reason why, when they were watering, I didn't water for 2 months straight. My backyard was a swamp.
Ooh.
From all their water coming in. I'm not getting any puddling on my side of the fence. It's stopping because when the home builders decided to help out a little bit, do what they could, construction staked out my yard. They were fighting it was my wall, but they only put stakes in there saying my dirt had changed from 2 to 6 inches by the fence.
Okay, so what are they saying? Are they saying that your wall is causing this, or are they saying, and you're saying they're overwatering? Tell me the two sides. You're saying what? What is your contention?
I've had I have had a landscaper come out and an excavating company out. They have both said it is not my wall. It's that if they would finish their backyard, take care of their erosion, we would solve a lot of problems. I'm not denying.
So wait, what are they saying is the cause of the swamp?
My wall.
Your wall is the cause of the swamp. What are you saying, or your landscaper saying the cause is? They're overwatering?
It's from the erosion coming down. They're elevated quite a bit. If I walk out my back door, I can literally see through their basement.
All right, hold on and we'll come back. I'm going to look at some pictures. I'm Tom Martino on the Troubleshooter Show.
Me, my family, and my entire community. But now, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There are a lot of questions regarding the COVID-19 vaccine, but people should know that it's based on trusted technology that's been used for over 10 years. Not only is the vaccine tested to be safe, it will help protect you against COVID. With every vaccine we give, we are one step closer to putting this pandemic behind us. Find out where to get your vaccine.
If you're looking for some spare cash, look no further than David Ellis Jewelry. He's been at 3rd and Clayton for like 40 years. Now, I'm going to tell you something. He will give you a direct value for your gold and silver and coins and broken watches and tangled messes. He doesn't care. He's looking for precious metals. That's the buy. So if you're looking to sell precious metals, no, don't go there for estate jewelry to sell anything else. It's for the metal. He'll write you a check on the spot. He'll be honest. Don't ever send it away to people you don't know. Don't meet people in hotel rooms that come into town. You can trust David Ellis Jewelry. By the way, you may even want to pick something up at the store while you're there. 3rd and Clayton, David Ellis Jewelry. So you get it? You got some stuff. You want to sell it? You go see David. His number, if you want to ask any questions, 303-322-8779. 322-8779. DavidEllisJewelry.com. 3rd and Clayton. Countertops, everyone has them. And you can get them at the Art of Granite without too much hassle. Here's why. First of all, you don't have to go through a long sales process. Just simply call Mitch Floria. He'll give you a price on the phone. Why is that? Because all materials are sold at wholesale. He tears out and hauls away free, and he does the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. So it's easy. You give him some square footage and a rough design idea, he'll give you a price that's pretty damn close. 303-386-5919. I love these guys. 303-386-5919. TheArtOfGranite.com.
It's the hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while
I emailed you pictures of that house.
I don't see it in mine.
I sent it, unless I didn't hit send, but I'm usually pretty good. No, I did. I sent it to both of you. I must have not hit send.
What do you need here? I didn't find
The pictures of the landscaping, and I have Stan the HOA man on board too.
But seriously, let me reinforce that the more I use Blue Sky CBD, the more aware I am on how much it is helping. And I talked about using the balm, hurt my shoulder a while back, so I've been applying that directly there, and it really has helped. But I also use the tinctures in the morning for clarity and energy and simple information.
You should have the pictures now. I didn't hit send before.
You gotta hit send.
Smart ass. Oh, look at my camera. It's like
It goes back and forth.
I told Mark he needed to order me a new one since I'm the star of the show.
You're the star.
Okay, hold on. Did you send me Miles' thing?
I texted you his Venmo.
Oh, that's a nice one.
I promise you this.
Okay, listen, don't say anything, anybody.
I won't.
Well, tell me what happens. Will you get notification?
Yeah, it'll say use
Can I leave a message?
Yep. And is your Venmo your name?
It seems like you
So when is Addie?
I do.
First was a couple weeks ago.
What about screening for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. Colon cancer is more treatable when it's caught in early stages.
Not that I know of.
You know
It's
what?
okay.
No, it is because she is definitely upset about that. So don't say anything to Addie.
92%.
Okay.
We're going to make that
Even
work.
those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnosis.
So I don't get it. That little wall, right?
Yeah, that's a nice looking wall.
Yeah, but I don't
I'm looking
understand.
at it.
What
I
does this
wanted to-
picture show? It doesn't
Okay,
show you.
here. So
Where's
you
the
can
flooding?
see that it's coming in right here. And they want him to take this down, even though he was approved. But the landscapers are saying if this guy sods properly, that there won't be anything coming through, but they're holding him responsible for everything.
Delicious. It's all about the taste with Redbird Farms chicken. You deserve fresh, healthy chicken.
What's terrible is that people at the lower end. See, drainage is impossible. Drainage is impossible to control or to retain. So they don't want people retaining it. So the responsibility passes on.
And that's what happens, this retains it, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so it passes on.
But they're saying if he sodded, this wouldn't be an issue.
Another day in the low 70s for your
Oh,
Friday.
he hasn't sodded?
Right, he's putting rock there in the land.
Oh, he said, and I quote, my neighbors put in sod.
Yes, but where the problem is, they didn't put in sod.
Now I understand.
Okay, where's the problem? Which house is the problem?
The back one, right over the fence.
You can,
To the right? To the front?
yes,
Okay.
you can see that, yeah, this is a new build, and this is the wall they want him to take down.
Okay, guys.
Stan the HOA man, too.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
Don't forget Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Now, Frankie, by the way, will give free market valuations of your home, and it's a true market valuation. It's not just a drive-by. It's a complete inspection of comps of your house. He visits, and he gives you a great idea. You won't do better. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Frank also has an article in 303 Consumer, the new magazine I published, and you can get a digital copy, 303consumer.com. Now listen, I want to go to this comment, and then I'll go back because we definitely have some thoughts on this landscaping issue. But Randy, I didn't want you to hold too long. You have a comment on the mask thing. I was looking for uniformity more than anything. What do you think, Randy?
Well, what I want to talk about is the third class of people that everybody leaves out. There's the vaccinated, the unvaccinated, and people like myself who have had COVID and have the antibodies. And why do we need to be vaccinated?
Because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Okay. Because they don't know enough about this disease. You know why? Because with every virus in history, you don't get it again. Okay? You get different forms of it, yes, but you don't get the same disease. That's why there's so many common colds, which are actually coronaviruses. Sure. But you know, tuberculosis and all, or there's a bunch of other diseases. I don't know if TB's one. I just said it. But there's a bunch of other diseases you don't get again. But they don't know enough about this, so they don't want to say that. And then what they say is this. Even if you had COVID, you can get another strain, and the vaccination is helping against other strains. But the problem with here's the thing, Randy. I get where you're coming from. They don't know enough about this. Even though it's been going on now more than a year, they really don't know enough. And so they err on the side of caution. That's what I've noticed. For example, asymptomatic transmission. Never before did they worry about that. With this disease, they said, we don't know. They don't apply the same old virology to COVID because they don't want to be wrong. And that's all I can think of, because I doubt they're doing it intentionally. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, it's like we've had flu shots around for decades. It'd be like me getting the flu and then going to the doctor and going, well, you got the flu, so since you already got it, go get a vaccine, too. It's like, what?
Well, hold on, though. Randy, to be fair, the flu, there's right now that flu shot contains about 14 different flu shots. Every year it changes. So that's not a good analogy. And that's what they're saying about COVID. They're saying even though you had it, you may have not had a particular strain, and this vaccination, they're saying, will protect you against those other strains. Listen, I'm not trying to sell you on the vaccine.
Oh, no, but have they changed the vaccine from its initial conception? Because the initial coronavirus that was, that went around, that they vaccinated, especially all the elderly people first, was, according to that first strain. So, and
I don't know if they changed. I can't tell you for sure. I can't tell you if they changed it, but they're saying it seems to be effective to other strains. That's what they're saying. But here's a reality. You know the flu shot that I get, I don't know if you do, but I get every year, that flu shot will incorporate, we're told, in the future, it'll incorporate COVID and other forms of COVID. So, because it'll be just another flu that we vaccinate against. That's what I'm told.
Sure.
So anyway, are you going to get vaccinated? You had it. Are you going to be vaccinated?
I am waiting till it's fully approved by the CDC, and
all right. Now,
and I may just get the next booster shot because I feel like I've already been vaccinated.
I want to ask you something. Did you get a real severe case of COVID?
I had loss of smell, and I felt like I had allergies one day.
Well, you were lucky. Good. That's good to know. And you were probably relatively healthy, because it doesn't really affect relatively healthy people. And I know you've heard, oh, he was in excellent health. How many times we hear that? But we don't know that. We don't know, for example, how many people have endothelium disease, the inflammation system-wide, or something lurking that COVID knocked the hell out of you, and you don't know why. A lot of people are obese, and they just don't, they say perfect health, and they don't say that. But I am not underselling or overselling. I promise you, this is not one of those shows. I'm not crazy. I think it's a serious health issue we have to deal with. But you're nuts if you don't recognize the power grab. If you think I'm being overly paranoid, I'm not. This is something that has never happened before. Our freedoms are being abridged by unelected officials, and we are embracing it in the name of safety. This is not going to go away. That is my fear. 303-713-8255. So, Mark, I looked at the pictures. This is pretty clear, okay? And I'm just going to get right down to it. We're talking about a drainage plan, and we're talking about landscaping. They're two different things. Unfortunately, people in charge of covenants don't always know what the landscaping or what the drainage should be. And I see your retaining wall, and I see what you did, and it's very pretty. I also see the neighbors above you and where they can drain into you. Now, I want to know if the neighbors are violating anything. For example, do they have sod? Because sod would retain a lot of moisture. Do they have sod?
They have sod in the middle of their yard, yes, right on the other side of that.
Do they have the sod required by the drainage plan?
I don't know on that.
Because Suzanne tells me the reason it's draining so much water and not retaining it is that they don't have enough sod.
Well, the landscaper, so there's electrical boxes and communication boxes right on the other side where the puddling are happening. I'm thinking what the landscaper told me, they don't think they packed that well enough, and when the water from their when they were watering their grass has pushed that dirt, that loose dirt underneath my fence.
Okay, but here's
now, on my wall.
I'm going to explain something to you. Then I'll go to Stan, the HOA man. But here's bottom line. And for everyone listening, this is something I've learned the hard way over years. Okay, drainage patterns are what they are. We don't establish them; they're there, and then we alter them sometimes. But here's what's going to happen. Your landscaping looks good, their landscaping looks good. Let's say nobody is making a mistake with their landscaping. The drainage goes to the person at the end. Your drainage goes to the next person. The one at the bottom handles most of it. That's the way it is in development. It's not a liability issue. Not unless this guy totally, put in concrete slides where you would have a waterfall. I am saying that under normal conditions, if you are pooling water right there, it's because of you can see, you put dirt in that wall and you created a dam. It's pretty common. You are not allowed to impede natural drainage. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm saying that you can't impede natural drainage, and it looks like your wall might be doing that. Now, I'm not saying it's your fault. It's their fault for approving it. But this guy, if there's water pooling at his fence, he could make the claim that you're damming up his water. You're making the claim that he's damming up his own water. The problem is you're going to have an engineer, not a landscaper. You're going to have an engineer come out and solve this if you can't do it yourself. I wanted to ask Stan, the HOA man, his comment. Go ahead, Stan.
Yeah, listening to this, and it's starting to become a little more complicated. I think you could almost go to the end of this story here. Someone's looking at a court action on damages.
Yes.
The HOA actually, upon the initial approval of the project, I think we all agree, probably did the right thing on approval. They went through their normal hoops and responsibilities.
Of course.
Okay, now, my question is, of many, was there at that time, incumbent upon the person who built the wall, a county approval required, like in my county?
Right, for drainage.
To build the deck.
You're right.
Yeah. So that's my first question.
Well, let's ask Mark. Mark, other than HOA approval, did you have to get a permit or any county approval?
No, I did not.
Okay.
No, my wall is not big enough for a permit.
Yeah. See, I don't think anything was intentionally done to do anything. It's all it is. It's so plain to see, Mark, that wall, as high as it is, it's not really high, but it's high enough, packed with dirt behind it, that it's causing a dam right on the other side of the fence. I mean, it just doesn't take a G. Go ahead.
That's what I'm trying to figure is I didn't put that dirt back there.
No.
My dirt sloped down from the fence all the way down to the bottom of my wall.
Your wall, the dirt behind the wall, who put the dirt in that between the wall and the fence, who put that dirt in there?
I have no idea.
Of course you did. You have plantings. But you put it in there. You have plantings in there. Who put the plants in there?
Well, I put plants in there, but the dirt was already back there.
Was there dirt? Was there dirt in there? Was there dirt in there?
Yeah, but not as high as it is, no.
Okay. You mean to tell me you put up an 18-inch wall, you pulled it out from the fence, and you put plants on the native dirt. You added nothing.
Added nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Then you dammed up the dirt that folded too.
That you can see.
So all the dirt in there. I'm sorry, Mark. I find that impossible to believe. I'm sorry. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I hauled the dirt off from when they dug out for the.
Bro, you and I can disagree. I'm not calling you a liar. I think you're misunderstanding. That this is like a bed, a flower bed, and you're telling me you just put up the wall, and you put nothing between the wall and the fence. How ridiculous is that? It's filled with pebbles. Who put the pebbles there? Who put the pebbles there, Mark?
I put the rocks and stuff back there.
Did you put the pebbles and the plantings on native dirt, or did you put it on fill?
I put it on whatever dirt was already at the house. It was existing dirt from.
No, I'm not asking existing dirt. Did you take the dirt from somewhere and put it behind the wall?
No.
Okay.
I hauled it off. I paid extra to haul it off because I didn't want to put any dirt anywhere because I.
It's impossible. Then your assertion is impossible. Here's why. If you put pebbles, you built a wall. You built a wall out, let's say 2 feet from the fence. Between the wall and the fence, you put pebbles down. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Then if his dirt was coming in, it would cover your pebbles, and it didn't. Your pebbles are higher than his yard, and his dirt would not have come in and wedged under your pebbles. So I'm sorry, Mark. It is absolutely impossible to believe that you put pebbles down on native earth without disturbing, and that his dirt from his yard came and wedged itself under your pebbles and picked up your pebbles and made a perfect flower bed. Impossible. Impossible. Sorry. I don't know what else to do with this. I don't want to spend any more time. What did you want to say? Now, you brought this back on. Why, Suze?
Well, because, Mark pretty much summed it up that it would be Mark Major.
Yes.
Summed it up that Mark the caller, it's going to be his responsibility to fix the issue, and I thought it should have been 50-50. He and his neighbor should fix the issue. So I guess Mark was right.
Here's what I think. I think that wall is causing a damming effect, and you're not allowed to impede natural drainage. That's what I think. That's that's from years of experience.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown at 2, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by SmartMouth, the only 24-hour mouthwash with twice daily use.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, take a look at your ride. Heads up. Got some construction going on as you make your way westbound on Hamden approaching Colorado. Expect to see some delays through that area. And as you're traveling eastbound on I-70 there,
everybody gets to wear makeup. It is so fucked up.
As you head through there as well. And if you're traveling on Quebec and 53rd, they are working on a crash cleanup. So
what about if we voluntarily can show we're vaccinated? Then we get
expect a high of 73 degrees, a low of 48 degrees, and possibility for some showers in the afternoon. Your current temperature is 52 degrees. Traffic and weather, I'm Kate Thomas, 630 KHOW. If you talk to someone and they jump back because of your breath, you need SmartMouth, the 24-hour mouthwash. You want to turn heads, but not like that. SmartMouth is the only mouthwash that can provide 24-hour fresh breath when used twice a day. Pick up a bottle of SmartMouth today or visit smartmouth.com.
One of the most common forms of wellness therapy is hydration, IV drips. Whether you go to the emergency room, whether you go to urgent care, it is a common form for almost anything. So if you're dehydrated, vitamin deficiency, hangover, migraines, whatever, you may have gone to a hydration bar. You don't have to anymore. You can get it in your home for the same price from Rocky Mountain IV Medics. That's right, Rocky Mountain IVmedics.com. Those are the people that do me every single month. I love them. Call or text for same-day appointments even. 720-987-2155.
The Piketon Massacre. A riveting true crime podcast is back for season 2. In 2016, 8 members of the same family were slain. Today, a local family of 4 await trial for these murders. The podcast examines the details of this horrific case.
They're accused of doing this together. They're accused of trying to cover it up together as a family.
Listen to the Piketon Massacre on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Owning a home has rarely been easier or more affordable. And if you're a veteran or on active duty, a VA loan could be the perfect thing for you. This is Ross Kaminsky for my friends at American Financing, where I've done 2 mortgages, reminding you that VA home loans can provide you with significant monthly and long-term savings. There's no down payment, there's no mortgage insurance required, they have some of the lowest rates in the industry, and if you already have a problem, you can refinance any existing mortgage into a VA loan, and you can even access 100% of your home's value, meaning a lot more money for you and your family. So don't wait to take advantage of $1,000 or more maybe in monthly savings, especially with rates still near all-time lows. Call American Financing today and get the best deal for your home ownership needs. 303.
Today is car day. I want to get Rodney on when things are slow. I got to ask him about a car I wanted to source for people that are writing in.
At AmericanFinancing.net.
Oh man, I forgot to pee. How long do I have?
Homeowners, are you experiencing pipe leaks? Is your water bill
I know.
unexpectedly high? Or are you suffering from low water pressure? These are signs of widespread pipe failure.
You know this commercial? This commercial could be me. Are you dripping? Are you leaking? Do you have a loss of pressure?
Pipe specialist. No more leaks and great water pressure. They've been doing this for
Sing.
25 years, serving over 40
Again, I'm talking about us.
customers. Repipe in just 1 to 2 days.
I want great water pressure.
With a lifetime guarantee. So say goodbye to leaks once and for all. Enjoy a pipe leak-free home and eliminate.
You know, why don't you call them? You get them on the list. Why not? They advertise all over the show.
Call who? These guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've never gotten a complaint.
Call today. 720-573-0086. 720-573-0086. That's 720-573-0086. Your timeshare.
You never know, man.
We have a guy that does that.
Quarantine is the new normal.
Okay.
Over and
That's
over
good.
and over, we are all in this together.
And,
meanwhile, your timeshare says empty and useless. Month after month, your timeshare company demands your maintenance.
What was that client's name?
Fees amounting to thousands of dollars per
The
year.
repipe client. What's the name on that order?
Start the freedom process. Let Timeshare Freedom Group
He's
free
gonna
from
tell
your
us.
overpriced, unavailable timeshare. Thousands have done it. Now it's your turn. The leaders in the industry.
Pipe specialists.
Experience Canada timeshares worldwide, legally and permanently. We're so good at it, we even offer a 100% money-back guarantee. You can keep wasting your money or dump your timeshare. Start the freedom
You know what?
process.
Repipers, you know what we can do? Who are they?
Better things to do with
Where?
your money. 855-48-CANCEL.
That's a repipers. I wonder if I can get it.
855-48-CANCEL.
Timeshare Freedom Group, we set you free.
My wife is probably the healthiest person I know. She eats right, she's always physically active, but for some reason she's had some very naughty and uncooperative teeth. Long story short, those teeth had to go. Fortunately, Kristen got help, as you can, at Aspen Dental Associates and the Colorado Dental Implant Center, where Drs. Yaros, Augustine, Zeppelin, and Son represent the leading edge of dental implant technology and care. Just several weeks ago, Aspenwood Dental completed an implant and what's called a 3-tooth bridge for Kristen. I can't say I understand it all.
I got my magazine yesterday.
How did it look? Good? It's really beautiful.
You didn't, I thought you were thinking about putting maybe everybody's referral list on it.
Yeah, I was, but I wanted to get Mark's approval and Suzanne's first because I wanted to make sure there's
The reason I say that is that's something people will keep around.
Yeah, I know. And on the back, I tried to do that with articles, but in the future, if we come to an agreement, I'm going to have always the back will be, the index will be referral list members, whether they advertise.
Sure. I mean, there's a bunch of
But they do have referral. There should be referral list badges on there. There should be. Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. By the way, my new magazine, 303consumer.com, or 303 Consumer, you should be getting in the mail. Let me know if you did. There's some very great articles in there. In fact, I'll be telling you about them. But 303consumer.com, that will get you a digital copy if you hit the link current issue. Let's talk and see what's on your mind. 303-713-TALK. We have Deputy Scott on with an update. I don't want to call him Deputy Scott. He's Deputy Bean Counter, I thought. Whatever.
Deputy Dollar?
Deputy Dollar's better. That's right. You know, on the show Billions, they got a guy they call Dollar Bill. His name is Bill, and they call him Dollar Bill. Isn't that cool?
Funny.
Anyway, I love that show, Billions. But anyway, so let's call him Deputy Dollar, because he's into, you know, we give him all the economic stuff. But anyway, what was happening with Tony? Tony, tell us first what the problem was without anything else. You called about Action Appliance, and I should mention this. Action Appliance sucks. I mean, they suck, okay? There's no other way of putting it. We have had so many problems with Action Appliance. Now, I will admit this. There are way less problems lately than there were in the past. And Suzanne, have they gotten better at handling problems? Do you know? They used to just hang up on us and not talk at all.
Oh, yeah, and they threw a box at Mark.
I know. But what about now? Are they a bit better? Dan, do you know?
Last time I talked to them, they didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything. No. Okay.
We don't get as many complaints these
days. That's for sure.
That is true.
That's for sure. But anyway, Tony, what was your problem with Action, sir?
Well, what happened, Tom, was they were supposed to send me a check for a refund.
Wasn't it $380 that you had paid?
Yeah, but I canceled the service, and they...
Now, why did you cancel it, though? That's what I wanted to know, because I remember the call, $380, and then you decided to cancel. Why?
Because they promised that they would come out and repair it as soon as the part would come in.
But they kept delaying?
They kept playing with me, and it was going on, and I decided to cancel it and just buy a new washing machine.
Okay, which was probably a good idea. How much did that new washing machine cost?
Well, it was about $600 and something.
Yeah, but so it's worth it. I mean, you don't want to pay more than 50% for a part. Anyway, let's talk to Deputy Dollar. Hey, Deputy Dollar, what went down on this?
Good morning, Tom.
Hey, good morning.
So, yes, I had reached out to Action Appliance probably 3 or 4 times trying to find out the status of this refund check.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it was $212. And
why was it $212?
Nothing.
Why was it $200?
Well, there was a restocking fee. There was a order cancellation fee.
Come on. Okay, well, whatever.
And then a service call or something. So the net amount was $212.79. But finally, every time I called, their office kept saying, you know, oh, the check went out today. The check's going out today. And nothing happened. And finally, on Monday, they said the check's going out today. I said, do you have check number, which I always ask for. And then Tony called yesterday and left me a voicemail and said, gosh darn, he got the check.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Maybe you had something to do with it. Maybe. No matter what, do this, Deputy Dollar. Always take credit. What else? You working on? You working on anything else?
Oh yeah, I'm working on Ashley, on her what's that action or cash thing?
Ashley, she had fraudulent charges in a 1-month period. Now this was weird, of around $7,000 U.S. Bank debit card. Okay, and they claimed. Suze, what was weird about that one? That they claimed that this was used. The card was actually used.
Well, Scott, we got to get Ashley on and talk about that. That turned out interesting, Tom.
Ooh,
we have more information on Ashley. I spaced that.
Okay, let's do that.
I'm going to call her.
Deputy Dollar, we're going to get back to you on that one. That is, that's a very interesting one we're following up. I'm trying to put an asterisk here next to the ones we're following up. So I have a quick reference, 303-713-TALK.
Tell your smart device to play 630K.
Do you have access to a drive?
You can hear Ross Kaminsky in the morning.
All the data remember where they made you put all of them into a drive? You have access to that drive. What I need to know is what I need to
now. Impact traffic.
In other words, what's missing? And if I can get from the copy, I don't know if you can do that, a copy of what's in there. the titles.
As you travel,
I know it's a pain in your head. Then I can compare to what I have.
An accident, and that is blocking the left lane. It's going to be stop and go traffic
Ants
from
didn't know how to do it,
120th.
so I figured
Seeing
you
about 15 minutes worth of delays right now. Heads up as you're traveling 285 Hamden westbound, Virgin, Colorado. Got some ongoing construction work, so seeing some delays through that area as well. Fox 31 pinpoint weather today is set to be a high of 73 degrees, mostly sunny, a low of 48 degrees, and possibility for thunderstorms in the afternoon. Current temperature is 52 degrees with your impact traffic and weather. I'm Kate Thomas, 630 KHOW.
Freshen up your playlist this spring with Audible Plus. Listen all you want to thousands of select Audible originals, audiobooks, podcasts, and more. Start a free 30-day Audible trial when you sign up at audible.com.
I'm still out of pain from Colorado Pain Care. No, I'm not kidding. Okay, now, it may not be permanent, but we're working on a solution. I went to Colorado Pain Care. I was just, all of a sudden, I got this pain, right? And I didn't know why, because I was out of pain for so long, and it was just getting me down. It was terrible. And they did a trigger point injection, and boom, gone. And he said, look, I took out the inflammation so you can get exercise and get back to life. They're action people, man. They don't just sit around and analyze for weeks and weeks. By the time I got there, they had already studied my history based on past medical records. I can't say enough. And now we're working on a plan. 303-GOT-PAIN. If you have pain from any reason, they work with all major insurance. 303-GOT-PAIN, ColoradoPainCare.com. If you want contractor pricing on stone, GraniteLiquidators.com. And don't be fooled, it's not just granite. It's Granite Liquidators for all of your stone, whether it be marble or quartzite. Whatever comes in a slab, they got it, and you get it. Your name on it. They keep it there for you until your contractor is ready. Buy your stone first. Why is that? Well, think about it. You want to decorate, right? Everything's got to be tied to that stone. That's the thing you can't change. So now, once you know what countertops you want, you can decide on your cabinet finish, or you matched it already to your cabinets, and then you go for everything else. You go through that yard, and you don't go with a tiny sample. You look at the slab itself, so you can see what part you want for the kitchen, for the bath, for windowsills, for backsplashes. You put your name on it. You can buy more than one if you need it. And then they store it there for you. Wholesale prices, GraniteLiquidators.com.
The shark is rising at your wants to
And were you going to do an icon content for the show here?
Carbine easier than ever.
Well, I got them 5. Okay. So I'm just going to go with those. Because this is not their regular day.
Finance, and they will literally drive your new car right to your front door. It's that easy. The Sharpest Ride is the #1 internet car dealer in Colorado, and you can shop over 1,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs today at thesharpestrides.com. They have cars under $10,000. 2020 models, so get shopping today at thesharpestrides.com.
During our recent snowstorms, I had to climb a ladder to remove leaves and pine needles that were blocking my gutter, causing overflow that was damaging my house. I bet you've been there too, but you can be done with that problem by getting your own leaf filter. Leaf Filter is offering my listeners 15% off your entire purchase, and you can get a free estimate by giving Leaf Filter a call at 844-300-LEAF. That's 844-300-LEAF, and tell them Ross sent you to save 15%, or just get started at leaffilter.com.
There is nothing harder than being a parent right now. So if your house currently sounds like this, you need a break. And surprisingly, donating plasma at BioLife Plasma Services can give you a break. Stay with me here. It's a physical break from the kids. Yes, finally some alone time. Give your bank account a break. You could earn up to $1,000 in your first month. And a break from reality. Free Wi-Fi, baby. So book an appointment today to donate your life-saving plasma. BioLife. There's purpose in your plasma. Visit biolifeplasma.com to learn more.
Hey guys, you've been hearing a lot about how well CBD's been working for some of my aches and pains, and goodness knows I've got a few. But seriously, let me reinforce that the more I use Blue Sky CBD, the more aware I am on how much it is helping. Now, I talked about using the balm, hurt my shoulder a while back, so I've been applying that directly there, and it really has helped. But I also use the tinctures in the morning for clarity and energy and simple inflammation reduction. So if you're struggling with pain, energy, or maybe you're having some trouble sleeping, you should read on the website what others are saying. And of course, the endorsements by Dr. Dorniger and Dr. Angersbach, to name a few. Check out bluesky-cbd.com. And right now, get 30% off your order by using promo code KHOW. That's 30% off with promo code KHOW. I promise you this, you won't be disappointed. Blue Sky CBD at bluesky-cb.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you to them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. A Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 6677 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 6677. Enjoy.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Genesis Total Exteriors for solar systems now. Yes, of course they do. Roofing and gutters and siding and windows and doors and everything. But solar systems. You can find Genesis in 303 Consumer Magazine. Okay, by the way, those solar systems, you can stand that. These are people that you can trust. I got an email, Suze, from a guy. I think I gave it to you to get him on. An older guy who will never pay taxes, never. He's on disability, and some solar company sells him something promising a rebate. The tax credit will never do him any good.
Two things, Tom. First, I've left him messages on voicemail and email, but that same solar company we've received complaints on recently. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, no.
Forever Freedom or Freedom Forever?
Oh, that's right.
Yep, sure.
Oh, yes, we did. You're right about that. We need to warn people about that.
Hey, I do got something on that that tax credit. Apparently, you can sell them.
What?
Yeah.
No, come on.
Yes.
Dan,
I'm looking more into it.
Dan, wait a minute. You can actually sell a tax.
Right. Yep. I'm looking more into it and stuff, but a guy...
Wait, but wait. To have a tax credit, you have to have it, right? So how do you sell it?
I'm looking, like I say, I'm looking into it, but this is what a former solar guy told me, and I looked it up, and yes, it sounds like you can.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Yep.
So try to find out more, man. And if anyone knows about it, let me know. 303-713-TALK, 713-825. We have another quick update. Plus, we have listen, we may, do I have to take Ashley now? Tell me who to take, because
No, don't take Ashley till after the break.
Okay, good. Marcus, then. Marcus, you have some kudos. Go ahead, Marcus.
Hey, thanks, Tom. I just wanted to give a quick shout-out to Wink and Wink. Just finished up a bankruptcy proceeding, and they were there to walk me through every step of the way, all the way up to the hearing when, they had a couple of weird questions about my tax returns. Gigi was right there to
great.
help me get through that.
Did you do a 13? Did you do a 13 or a 7?
No, sir. She suggested a 7, so that's what I did.
Okay. And I'm sorry you had to do it. Was it pandemic related?
A little bit of the pandemic, but it was more stemming from before the pandemic.
Well, thank you for calling and letting us know. Winkandwink.com, they're great people. And by the way, they're on referralist.com, the ultimate list of the experts. PJ's got comments on the vaccine. Go ahead, PJ.
Hi. I was listening to you.
Yes.
And you were talking about the government and
yes.
getting. Now, back in the day, during the Tuskegee days, and they were injecting minorities with this.
Hey, wait a minute. I want to give you more time. Please hang on, PJ, because we're running out of time. We'll talk about that and more coming up. I'm Tom Martino. You're listening to the Troubleshooter Show.
Time to get your AC checked before it's too hot to bear. Fix It 24/7 has a deal for you. Clean, check, adjust, and practically refurbish the AC
and furnace too for just $68. That's both services. And since they work together, it makes sense. Plus, you won't find a better price for the extensive work and
Yeah, I think I was good.
No, thank you.
Oh, wait. Coke.
Rockies baseball is back, and Coors Field is the place to be this weekend as the Rockies take on the Reds with a Chuck Nasty bobblehead for the first 7,500 on Saturday and Sunday. Can't make it? Get tickets for the Rockies D-backs next weekend. Go to Rockies.com/tickets today.
It's Brian with Advanced Mudjacking. Does COVID have you home and you're noticing sinking concrete, interior floors, garage, patio? We can fix it. Call Advanced Mudjacking, 303-424-9441. Advanced Mudjacking at yahoo.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeartRadio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts. All in one.
ABC News and Lionel Moore. House Republicans elected New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik as GOP conference chair this morning.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do her. Who? Elisa, I can't remember where she's from. To replace.
Do we have any good? Are there any good Republicans on the floor to take over leadership?
When you say leadership, what do you mean?
Like this, up and comers, really good name.
For president? Or?
For anything. Yeah. Party leadership, platform, president.
You know who I think is good and he ran for president? No. Romney won't. No. Romney, the only way he's going to do it is
not switching to the new
Utah, just because of Utah. The Kentucky senator, what's his name? He's a doctor.
Oh, yeah?
He ran for president.
Did he used to be there?
Paul. God, I mean, he's not dynamic. The guy is smart. He drilled Fauci, and basically, Fauci was almost yelling.
I know. He destroyed him.
And like I said, so I like him, and I like.
And Rand Paul didn't sound like a nut.
No, not at all. He just laid it out to him. So,
what was his? I heard about it. What was he brilliant mostly about?
Why were you guys working with the Chinese and doing these virus studies, and now it looks like the COVID came from China, and they say no, it didn't come from the lab, but
the Fauci said it didn't, right?
Actually, the WHO did it just because in their little thing that they went to they just asked the Chinese guys. They just asked them questions. Like 10 questions. So,
can you believe that China had 80,000 cases?
Oh, right. Of course it did. Yeah. No, I don't say that China put it out to try to put it out. I think it leaked.
Well, you need my help.
That's what I think.
Founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group.
If it would have came from their wet markets like they said, and then they opened up the wet markets after a few weeks, I mean, that was just the WHO. I think I'm not a big fan of CDC, but WHO.
When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to
put
any amount they want for annual.
How do you pronounce Malte? Is it Malte tongue? Malte tongue? Was the teeth? Do you know?
Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare.
Are you up on
Were you like you when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts.
Oh, I need to be. Thank you for reminding me.
Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-786-9300. 800-786-9300. 800-786-9300.
Did you hear what Israel did with Palestinians?
What? Who did?
Israel did. How they tricked them? They put it out that they were going to attack with tanks, and so all their fighters, they put their fighters down in the tunnels. So the fighters came out of the that was spread around there.
Yeah.
So the fighters came out of the tunnels, and they did go in there with tanks, but they had planes and everything.
Mao
Zedong.
Seeing where they were coming out of, and then they bombed them after they got out of the tunnels. So it was just a fake thing to get them to show themselves.
But they were in the tunnels.
They were in the tunnels.
And they said, we're going to bomb the tunnels.
No, they said, we're coming in there with tanks.
Okay, so then why'd they come out?
Because they wanted to push the tanks back. And they put that over, and the media spread this out. Basically, and the media, of course, is almost in cahoots with them. A lot of the media is. And so they found out where they were coming out of the tunnels, and then they bombed them with planes.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. From the Buff Red Sports Traffic Center,
Something's not right. We're having trouble connecting to Google. But
you are, or I'm on. Okay.
I'm on. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go to my thing.
And you are having stop-and-go traffic at
So,
about
YouTube.
It's going to be a 15-minute or more delay right now. And as you travel on Colorado Boulevard, heads up, got a crash at Yale. Seeing some delays through that area
Nope,
as well.
I got to go here and get on.
31 pinpoint weather today is set to be a high of 73 degrees, mostly sunny.
No, I want these people to forgive me.
Current temperature is 52 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Amy Thomas, 630 KHOW. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a bacon double stack, 4-piece crispy or spicy nuggets,
which account is
and a
it?
drink, and
It's
the $5
Troubleshooter.
anyway. That's 2 fresh beef patties, Applewood smoked bacon, and juicy chicken, all for just $5. Secure the bag with the most
There
value.
it is.
Get the
There we
bacon.
are.
Price and participation may vary.
Oh, to get up there.
Did people ask where I was?
Oh, yesterday we hit 100.
The more you buy, the more you save. In honor of Mother's Day,
I've only seen that one
Home
other time.
Solutions. Buy a door, 25% off. And soft light windows, 30% off. The only window named Energy Partner of the Year for sustained excellence 7 years running, 30% off. Or give the whole house a facelift with 35% off windows, siding, and doors. Plus, you're dealing with a company 65 years strong. The best products, installation and warranties, windows, roofing, siding, and doors. K&H has what you're looking for. Massive discounts this month only. Make your own appointment at khwindows.com. That's khwindows.com.
Who's this AG?
For more information
Like I said,
about
Tom could be playing those
go to
things.
khow.com/rules.
Denver's talk station has your chance
He's
to
a
win
big
$1,000. Just
comment.
enter this nationwide keyword on our website. TRIP. That's TRIP. Enter it now at khow.com.
TRIP.
Listening to win with a 12K a
Now?
day giveaway.
Mao Zedong.
This is the
Mao
Troubleshooter Show.
Zedong. Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, and I welcome you to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. We are here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. This hour brought to you by Century RV. Century RV. I say RV stands for Real Vacation. They have new and used RVs. They're located up north at I-25 and exit 240, and out west, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims, next to Woodley's. And they're also published this month in the new 303 Consumer Magazine. I urge you to get a copy of it if you haven't gotten it in the mail. Several 100,000 went out. But you can get your copy, digital copy, at 303consumer.com. Now, that website's just where you find a link to the magazine, 303consumer.com. And you'll find centuryrv.com. You know, Mark and Suzanne bought their RV there. They love it. They love the service. They love everything about them. They're building a new service facility up north. Like $10 million. 303-713-8255. PJ's got a comment on vaccines. I made a comment earlier in the show, not against vaccines at all. I'm vaccinated. And while I'm not, campaigning either way, I think people should have that freedom of choice. I'm not one of these people who believe it's the scourge. But I think it's confusing, though, because these mask mandates are so confusing, and I think people should be more consistent. Either go with the CDC and let them determine based on hotspots what to do, or the president, or something. But when you get down to each and every little health department, it becomes a pain in the ass, and especially Denver. Now, they're going to still require masks. It's just really weird. Now, I am a believer that masks help a little, and every little bit helps. Okay, I'm not against masks. I just think that this power grab, truly, from unelected officials has gotten them a taste of power that they're reluctant to let go of. And I believe we are going to have
a new normal in the future, and we are going to have seasonal warnings. There's going to be, you know how we have terrorism warnings? There will be viral warnings or health warnings, and there'll be different levels, and mask wearing will become part of our future. I don't mean all the time, but I believe there will be times when they're going to mandate mask wearing and different kinds of social distancing. I don't think social distancing is a bad thing to begin with. You know, we've had virtually, this is one thing everyone agrees on, we virtually have had no regular flu season at all. Do you realize that? We had, I think, some tiny number of total flu cases, not counting corona, not counting COVID. That's good news. That means it can be controlled. So, obviously, it does help, you know, masks and social distancing. Now, I'm not campaigning on a political stance. What I'm saying is this: we should be consistent for damn sure, and we're not. And also, I don't want these power-hungry, unelected officials to get drunk with their power, because they are. And that bothers me. Also, we are being misled, and again, they don't even have to mislead us because it has improved, but they're misleading us. Fauci made it a point to say that cases are down 45%, and he directly attributes it to the vaccine. They're down that much for one reason. I mean, that much. They're down because of vaccines, but the main reason you're seeing drastic drops in cases is how they measure cases. Again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. No matter how you look at it, they have changed the way they measure a case. In the beginning, they would take a sample from your mucus and amplify it through what's called a CT, a cycle. They would amplify it 45 times or more. If there were any particles of virus, even if there was not enough, in fact, most people would say you could never pass it on if you had to amplify 45 times. But they would call that a case. You would be quarantined. They would call it a case, whether you were infected or not, if it showed up. Then, after Biden was elected, I'm not saying it was because of that, but coincidentally, January 20th, they changed it. And they lowered the threshold, which means that they didn't amplify it as much, so the cases immediately dropped. And then, after the vaccine came out, they lowered it once again. And it's just disingenuous not to mention that to people. And that's something that you can find out right by researching it yourself. I'm not going to quote all of these little footnotes, but every one of them is rock solid. They changed the measurement of cases. Now, had they not changed the measurement, yes, cases would have gone down, but not as dramatically. That's all I want to say. That's not political. And I urge you to call me one way or the other and talk about that, because we are being misled. PJ, you have a comment. Go ahead.
Yes. When you were talking, you're talking about the way the government is running this vaccine and
well, actually, the government isn't. Every government is, and every health department. It's very inconsistent.
Okay, well, back in the day, back in the Tuskegee days, when they were injecting minorities to a vaccine to cure the swine flu.
Okay, I didn't know that, but go ahead.
Well, a lot of minorities were dying. The black people, they were dying. So a lot of minorities today don't want to get the vaccine because they're saying, you know, they don't
trust it.
Fully vaccinated. They don't trust the government saying that they're experimenting on minorities again. They're saying, and
you know, I don't. Hold on, I'm not going to let you just get away with that. I don't think that minorities are staying away from. Do you really believe that they're staying away?
Yes, this is what I'm a minority. I'm a black guy, and this is what I'm hearing all the time.
You're hearing from your own people. You're hearing from people around you that you consider minority that they're not going to get vaccinated.
they're not going to get vaccinated because they're saying, and I'm telling them, I'm saying, look, the white people, there was a study, white people were getting the vaccine first. Why would they kill off their own people? And then they said, well, listen, I'm just telling you, this is the conversation that we're having. And so they're saying, well, who are they saying? They're probably
okay. By the way, let me tell you something. I have actual stats here, okay, of actual vaccinations in every single state. And you know what? I looked at the white. Now, this is not total number. Obviously, there are more white people than black people. So we're not going by total number. But I'm going to tell you that you are absolutely correct. That in every state, whites have more than double the participation as blacks. Well, more than double. Now, listen, let's talk about Hispanic now. With Hispanic compared to white. With Hispanic, Hispanic are a little higher than the black participation. Okay, let's talk about Asian now compared to white. Asians are the least. Okay, so here's how it's going. Whites have the biggest participation. Blacks are next. Wait, no. Hispanics are next. Blacks are next. And then Asians are the lowest participation. That's amazing. That's amazing. So if you want to talk about cooperation with the vaccine, whites are more I shouldn't say cooperative. They're more, willing. And then next to them, Hispanics. Next to them, blacks. Next to them, Asians. I wonder why with the Asian community, it is such a tiny minority getting vaccinated. I wonder.
I don't know, but this is the thing is, the reason why black people are not participating.
Well, you can say minorities in general, black, Hispanic, and Asian. Why? Do you think they're what do you think? Do you think they're, I don't believe they think they're experimenting because it's the same vaccine for blacks and whites.
Of course they do, because they think that the rich people are not getting, they're getting the real vaccine, and the minorities are getting.
Now wait a minute. PJ, do you truly believe that that's what blacks are thinking?
Tom, I am fully vaccinated. I don't believe that.
Right.
I don't believe that. I'm just saying the conversation I have had with my people.
I want to hear from black listeners. I want to hear from black, Hispanic, or Asian listeners. I do. PJ, you made your point. I want to hear about it. I want to hear if they feel they're being experimented with, and or they're not getting the same vaccine as rich people. I want to hear at least one person say that. I can't believe anybody believes that. Now, Tom, what was your comment? You wanted to talk about that Centennial, those airplanes out of Centennial Airport that crashed?
Yeah, Tom, I was hearing, and I know you're a pilot and stuff, and I was hearing on the news today that there might be some kind of communication error, which that could be, but...
What do you mean by that, though? I don't understand.
I don't know. They were saying there was some sort of Nine News said there was some sort of they thought some sort of communication error.
Well, okay, but that could mean anything. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know their point to that, but my point is, I've been traveling since long before 9/11 and flying all the time, and I know there's IFR and VFR. I mean, it's broad daylight. It's a clear day. Why wouldn't a pilot, or how could a pilot not see that plane coming down?
Well, first of all, they were they were inside the 5 mile. They were in the traffic area. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so, but you would see them. But here's what happens: they tell you constantly from the tower where everyone else is. Like they'll say, like make a left base, right? And then they say you have traffic at your 2 o'clock 2 miles, or whatever. And then they want you to respond traffic in sight or whatever. Here's the deal: I don't know what happened. I didn't really immerse myself in the news, but one thing that was pretty cool, and I don't, take that in context, is that parachute on the Cirrus worked flawlessly. The Cirrus aircraft has a built-in parachute. I used to have one of those planes, and I never had to use it, but those are significant. The other plane landed. Now, was the other plane Lime Air? Was it a commuter plane? I thought...
it did say Lime Air and had a big hole in the fuselage, but I have no idea.
But anyway, here's the point. Why that happened, I have no idea. I just don't know. And they couldn't have collided like really seriously, right? Because the other one landed. So I don't really know. I'm going to have to look more into it. Or if anyone knows about it, if they could, oh my God, wait a minute. That lime air is really damaged. It's almost like the back half could have come off, or the back quarter. Holy crap.
The tail got it too, a little nick out of that tail.
So that was a serious collision. I thought they were just like what they called these near misses. Wow. I really didn't immerse myself in the news here, but who knows how that happens? Look, I fly out of there a lot. I try to go flying at least once a week, if not more, with fixed wing and helicopter. Now, here's the deal. The Howler is usually overly informing you of traffic. And another common thing you hear about are the drones. They say, beware, there's some drones over there or over here. I don't know what happened. I, honest to God, don't know. But people are saying they just saw them collide. And, wow.
Yeah,
I mean, it is strange. And again, if anyone finds out anything more, give us a call. A communication error could be anything. It could be a radio not functioning. But, I mean, I personally don't know how you not see traffic. Because, especially if they're close to you, because that's what you're looking out for when you're near the runway.
You get what you pay for, and chicken is no exception.
Did you see the video of somebody must have taken it with the cell phone.
No, I didn't.
With the Cirrus deployed the parachute and came down.
You know, what he was talking about, Lax, was the Tuskegee experiment was syphilis. And that ended in 72.
Experience what real chicken tastes like.
I absolutely love my Whole House fan. Now, let me tell you, folks, what a Whole House fan is. It's QCcolorado.com, by the way. Keep that name in mind because not all of them are the same. QC is quiet and it's cool. They do it in less than 2 hours, and it's a strong motor. It's beautiful. It's remote controlled. So I go with QCcolorado.com every time. Now, the Whole House fan, the technology, it's in the upper floor of your home, and it draws from the lower areas, which de-stratifies the air. It makes it more even. Cools off your house in no time. Dan has one. He doesn't even use his air, and I use my air about 10% of the time I used to. You will save money. There's a great article about QCcolorado.com in my new magazine, 303consumer.com. If you look at 303consumer.com, you can get a digital copy, and we explain the technology if you're interested. Plus, there is a special deal. So if you're looking for a Whole House fan and you can save money, have beautiful sleep, comfortable nights, that's QCcolorado.com, 303-800-3419, 303-800-3419. Well, what about Frank Duran, the realestateman.com? I usually talk about his free market valuation of your home, which is way better than Zillow or some, passing appraisal. This is a full inspection of your home. Now, it's not for appraising. It's for deciding what you can get on the market. That's what really counts. And Frank knows because he sells hundreds of homes a year. So, Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, your free market valuation, 303-920-1622, no obligation.
The Piketon Massacre, a riveting true crime podcast, is back for season 2. In 2016, 8 members of the same family were slain. Today, a local family of 4 await trial for these murders. The podcast examines the details of this horrific case.
They're accused of doing this together. They're accused of trying to cover it up together as a family.
Listen to the Piketon Massacre on the iHeartRadio app.
Wait, it says I have an icon on Friday. I do have an icon on Friday. I don't know why it's not here. So I got to do one. So what you may as well grab it. I'll do it right here. You want me to do it here? Grab it. No, you want me to do it? Yeah, right now or at the top of the hour? Right. What would be better?
Call 844.
I'll do it at the top.
It's just one more thing, and you can grab it and send it to you, or you can cut it up yourself.
Okay, I'm going to do it. Remind me, please, at the top of the hour.
About how well CBD's been working for some of my aches and pains, and goodness knows I've got a few.
I don't know why I did not have my icon down.
I thought you were doing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
It's Monday. I have Tuesday, Thursday, Friday here.
Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay, that's what I have here. Let me check and make sure. You know, I have to juggle all of these things here.
And simple inflammation reduction.
God, it's not on here. You know what?
Energy, or maybe you're having some trouble sleeping.
No, it is Friday too, and I don't know why Friday. Friday's not a good day for it. But I'm going to do Friday.
Check out bluesky-cbd.com. And right now, get 30% off your order.
It just gives me so many on this day. I don't know why. Well, not really. One more.
Code KHOW. I promise you this. You won't be disappointed. Blue Sky CBD at bluesky-cbd.com.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for
Insurance,
years.
Water
I was
Pros.
bloated all the time with daily diarrhea. At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
You know, that guy at Water Pros, he is unbelievable. If I'm telling you, man, if you ever want to do any water, you will never get a better system cheaper. Never. Never. It's just unbelievable.
I don't have one here, but I have one on the cabinet.
And what do you have, filtration or conditioning?
With filtration strict for drinking.
How much did that cost? He does it for $900, man.
900 for the
point of use.
What do you call it?
Point of use.
Reverse osmosis.
Triple system. Yeah. You got reverse, you got filtration, and something else.
In fact, I got to change my filter.
God, he's good. And he's honest, you know, he's just a good, honest guy.
I mean, you're right, there's a lot of people charging a lot of money for those filtration systems.
Oh my God, or conditioning, like $6,000. And then they scare people. They used to knock on doors.
Yeah, get your
Westera HELOC
water sample.
offering homeowners personalized home equity line of credit options.
Suze?
So they can handle every little outrageous cost with confidence. For more info at westerace.com/HELOC. Equal housing opportunity.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Tom Martino here. Don't forget home the insurance checkup. You call and get a free insurance checkup. You have to ask for it, or go to the website, theinsurancehelpcenter.com. It is absolutely neutral, meaning they won't favor any companies, and they will tell you if you have a great deal. It's something you should do. They check with 25 sources. Compass Insurance Group, theinsurancehelpcenter.com, 303-996-9000, 303-996-9000. I used the insurance checkup just last year and saved $4,500. Okay, let's go to the phones. Now, can we do this new update? Okay, so Ashley called, and Ashley said, listen, I got a big problem. And we talked to Ashley, and it was a big problem. Let me get her problem here. It was a debit card or some kind of card, credit card, but the problem was it showed all kinds of charges. And how much were those charges for? Like they totaled what? It was a lot of money. How much was it again? Do we remember?
Wasn't it 7,000?
Close. It was close
to $7,000.
Tom.
That's what it was, $7,000, and it was all in like a 10-day period, which was weird. So, Ashley, this was from your bank, and what did the bank say they would do for you? Anything? This is before you contacted us. I want to know, what did they say? Did they say we don't know what went wrong, or did they say you were responsible? What happened?
At first, they said that that we could work out a dispute and they would investigate. And then I got a letter in the mail a couple months later saying that they couldn't find an error and that the case was closed.
All right, could not find an error or could not find fraud, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, here's what's weird on this one. So this we're talking about $7,000 in a 10-day period. You mentioned something, though, in passing on the last call, and that's when we handed it over to Deputy Dollar. You mentioned something about there was a friend you trusted once. Can you explain that?
Yeah, and we were staying at a hotel, and I helped pay for her hotel a couple of nights, and I let her take my card downstairs and use it to pay for her hotel. And then she brought it back up.
Ashley,
so,
why were you in a hotel?
Well, I just I had a fight with my boyfriend, and it's kind of stressful. And
okay,
Okay.
Oh, so you weren't homeless, or was the girl that you trusted homeless?
Yeah, was the girl you helped homeless?
Yeah. She was homeless, yep.
Now, was she staying with you, or was she in her own hotel room?
She and her boyfriend were in their own hotel room.
Now, when you say you helped, did you simply pay the bill, or did you give them access to the card?
I paid the bill like for 3 or 4 nights, but then I did give her one day. I was busy and I needed to be upstairs for some reason, and she wanted to get down there and pay. And so I guess to keep her room.
So you gave her the card. You handed her.
Down, yeah.
You handed her the card.
Right, but most of these charges are online, and I did not give my PIN out.
Well, hold on a second.
You don't have to.
Wait, Suze, wait. If Ashley gave the card to someone,
yeah,
how does that someone go online without a what about without a username or password?
The 3-digit code on the back.
But what about a username or password? No, seriously, I don't know. If I give you my card, you can't log into the bank.
I can't log into the bank, but I could probably take your card with your 3-digit. I could possibly do that. They charged Expedia for. It was Expedia that's the travel website.
That can be done by phone.
That can be done by phone. That
How
can
do you
be
know,
done without
Ashley?
logging into
How do you
anything.
know it was done? Wait a minute. Hold on. You're right, Suze.
Yeah,
you don't have to log into the bank.
If I have your 3-digit code, I can do whatever.
No, I was mistaken.
What about to the Cash App?
No, hold on. I was mistaken. If you wanted to log on to the account, you would. But if you wanted to if you went on Expedia or any other website and you put in the card, the expiration date, and the code, you're right, Suze. You can charge anywhere. Anywhere.
And I think she admitted.
You don't need a PIN number, Ashley. That's where you're mistaken. Now, Ashley, I'm not trying to make a case against your friend, but my God, it's the only other person that had your card.
And she admitted that to the bank. That's why the bank is holding
come on,
her
Ashley.
account. But I thought you were homeless, Ashley, and my question was, if you're homeless, how do you have $7,000 in the account?
Well, no,
and I wondered if you got scammed or something.
Was the $7,000 actually in the account, or was it a credit transaction?
Oh no, it was in the account.
Oh no!
It was
how much, Ashley? How much do you have in your account at any one time?
Usually about $4,000.
Okay. Now, Ashley, are you working or you're disabled?
Right now I'm partially working. I'm part-time.
Okay.
Are you collecting unemployment?
Not anymore. I did.
Okay, let's talk. What does Deputy Dollar have to do with this, Suze?
Ask him.
Okay,
I
Deputy
thought
Dollar.
He understood her to be homeless.
Deputy Dollar, what did you do with this? Anything?
Yes, I spoke with Ashley, and this is actually related to a U.S. Bank Relia card, which is
the unemployment.
Wait
a minute.
Benefits.
Oh,
and that's what Ashley was collecting at that time was unemployment
and it's interesting
like
she
that.
has unemployment coming in and $7,000 on the account. I just find that unusual.
Well, there are a lot of people right now.
I got $10,000.
They don't. By the way, I just want to make this clear: money in your bank does not count against you when you go for unemployment. Okay? The only thing that counts against you in unemployment is other income. So that part doesn't bother me. So, Ashley, we just try to look at the whole thing. So, Deputy Dollar, this fraud happened not on her regular bank account, but on a Relia card.
Relia card, yes.
And how are they holding her responsible for the funds? I thought it put her checking account in the negative.
No, it did. Well, hold on. Wait a minute. So this $7,000 came out of a separate account, or was it your regular checking? Deputy Dollar, this Relia card, is it an account of itself, or does it go into your regular account?
Of yourself, of itself.
Okay, it's separate.
Yeah, of itself, correct.
Okay, so your Relia card account had more than $7,000, or just $7,000, or how much?
It had more than 7, yes.
Okay, and and this fraud that happened during this 10-day period, was this period of time, August 20th of last year, between August 20th and August 30th of last year, was that the time you knew this homeless woman?
Yes.
Was it after you had given her the card?
Yes, because I think I stayed there at like the 18th and 19th.
Now, Ashley, come on now. You can't be that ignorant. You know damn well that they ripped you off.
I know. I guess so, yeah.
And here's the problem. Deputy Dollar, what does the bank do when you let someone have your card?
Well, I mean, she tried to dispute it. But
how?
You know, to the bank, well, you can call U.S. Bank.
No, you know what I mean. How do you dispute something when you hand your card to someone?
That's pretty hard to do.
Now, I once had an employee that had rights to use the card, you know. And she used it for booze and cigarettes. Right. But guess what? The police said because she had use of the card, she could use it for anything she wants. They said that's not. Yes, that's the problem. Is that when you give access to something, there's no crime there. Now, you know, like if you work for a big corporation and misuse the card, they'll come after you civilly, but they can't have you arrested. So, Deputy Dollar, the bank said what? Tough?
Well, hold on, but see, I gave her the card once, and then she must have copied the numbers
all it
down.
Takes
and
is once is Ashley, all it takes is one time.
She takes a picture of it with her phone, and it's done.
Right, but then I didn't authorize that. I didn't authorize
You
her
did
to
when
be
you gave her the
using
card. You authorized it when you gave her the card.
For one time.
That's right.
You shouldn't get away with that.
That's right.
Your responsibility not to share your card.
You could go after her.
I agree. Ashley, I agree with you that you shouldn't be able to, but you do. Because they can't keep track of it. Do you know how many times I've handed my card to my kid? They run in the store and buy something. Technically, my kid, my son, my daughter could take a picture of it on their phone and charge all kinds of stuff, technically. Now, here's what you can do. You can go after this couple or this woman civilly. You can go after and sue. That's a lot of money. I would go to small claims court. However, you still have to have some kind of proof. And I don't know how you do that. But I wouldn't let it go. $7,000, that's a lot of money.
The only thing that she might have is if there was an Expedia charge, like I was told, there would be names attached to the travel.
Now.
Okay, and would they have to show an ID to, you know?
I don't know how they do it online. How do you do it online?
If you book a trip on Expedia, you got to give them your name that's going to be traveling or renting the car.
Ashley, here's how it works.
It's not.
They don't care. They don't care what name you give online because you have to show the ID when you show up. So people don't use phony names because they'd have to have a phony ID. So let's say your friend used it to travel. You know what? That's a good idea. You can ask Expedia for a copy of the purchase, and then that purchase will be tied to a name, and then we can help you get to small claims court. Ashley, if you do this one step at a time with Deputy Dollar, he'll walk you through it, and then we'll help you with small claims court.
Yeah, but good luck going after homeless people, Tom.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But hold on. I know. Damn it. Because even if we do all this, and you can't even go after criminally. That's just Ashley for having a big heart. You got, am I past the break this long? You know something, Shannon? You need to be more strict about that. You need to get on my case when I don't take my breaks.
I just wanted to space that publicly. Talk station. Tino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 6:30 KHO.
As a pilot, have you ever overshot a city by 100 miles?
Impact traffic.
There goes Cleveland. We're almost.
There goes. You're in New York.
Sports traffic center. Take a look at your ride this morning. Still seeing some pretty big delays as you make your way southbound 55. Earlier crash has been cleared at 84. It's going to be a slow ride. You've got delays of about 5 minutes right now. As you travel eastbound on I-70, got a crash at Dipper West. That's back out to Colfax while they do cleanup, adding about 2 minutes to that ride. Midpoint weather today is going to be a warmer day with a high of 73 degrees, low of 48 degrees. Expect some showers this afternoon. Current temperature is 52 degrees. With your impact, traffic, and weather, I'm Kate on 630 KHOW. Westera HELOC Select.
Isn't that something how they changed how they measure COVID twice
So they can
to
handle
help?
every little outrageous cost with confidence. More info at westeracd.com/HELOC.
Those questions don't get asked.
I cannot stress this enough. My back pain is gone. Now, you may say that's too good to be true. You know, listen, they told me, Tom, this might help you, but we're people of action. We don't wait, and they don't analyze. Oh, well, they do analyze, but they do all of this before you even get there with your medical records. And then by the time I got there, Colorado Pain Care gave me a trigger point injection that took all my pain away. Now, they said it could be temporary, but it was to get the swelling down, to get me past the pain cycle, because then the body can cure itself when you start moving again normally. They said they have some other therapies in mind. I'm going to go for their physical therapy to keep it permanent. But I am so thrilled with Colorado Pain Care. I cannot tell you enough. If you have pain anywhere of any kind, they work with all major insurance, okay? And all you have to do is call or go online and fill out the app, and they call you back. 303-GOT-PAIN, 303-GOT-PAIN, or ColoradoPainCare.com. Get out of pain. This is a real story. I'll tell you another real story about investment. Okay, become the banker. No, you're not gonna get rich quick. And you're going to, however, have a solid investment that is tax-free and can be used tax-free if you follow the plan, and it's guaranteed. Now, 4% tax-free is kind of like 8% for some. All right, it can help you. Also, a 1% dividend. Joe and Jordan Keano will help you manage this account so you can use it for cars, for college, for purchases, and then also use it for retirement. BecomeTheBanker.org. They also have a guaranteed pension for life you can find out about. BecomeTheBanker.org.
I donate plasma with BioLife because I like giving back.
I donate plasma with BioLife because people living with immune deficiencies need my help today.
I donate plasma with BioLife because I don't have a good reason not to.
I donate plasma
I like
with
giving
BioLife
back.
because get paid.
I donate
BioLife because I'm going to buy a TV for my bathroom one day.
Whatever your reason,
You know,
BioLifePlasma.com
it's amazing
to
that
learn more.
fucking Lime Air landed. Did you see the damage? It's fucking amazing. And by the way, I've seen the Cirrus at the field.
New look going in your home. Unfortunately, nearly every home show in the state for this time of year has been canceled. What about that, Todd?
You go to 9 News.
Bring the home shows to them.
Did you see the green plane?
Wow.
You see it? Look at that shit. That is fucking amazing.
So that's the plane that got hit then.
To get that shower replaced.
Well, yeah, by the other plane, so they both kind of got hit, right?
And we'll bring the show savings right to you also. Folks,
Do you think just the wheels came off, hit them right there? I suppose.
You'll enjoy our traditional 8%.
Because that plane landed, or did that plane have a parachute on?
Whether it's a kitchen,
No, the green one didn't have a parachute. Shit.
or even replacement windows and doors. Dad, as always, you have our word will treat you right at number 303-722-2295, 800-362.
I guess it's lucky where it hit, huh? It would have hit the tail, it wouldn't have been able to control it, right?
Oh my God. I mean, it's amazing the tail didn't fucking fall off with all the stress.
But I mean, it almost hit. It was going to hit. It hit a perfect place. It would have hit to the left. It would have hit the wing. Hit to the right. It would have hit the tail.
That's Bell and Pollock. Hi, it's Mandy, and after getting the
You know, both of those pilots are to blame. How do both fucking pilots?
care of and treated the right way by Bell and Pollock.
Those Cirrus was damaged too.
Over 30 years, and they're just really.
It's fucking amazing. You know, when he pulled that parachute, now that's some quick fucking thinking. And they were low to the ground. This is really, this airplane, fuck, is that a testament to safety or what? Did you see that, Cirrus?
No, I was looking at what? Look at
it.
So they stayed
It's
in the
almost
plane.
cracked in fucking half. Did you see it?
So
Look
they
at the
stayed
one.
in the plane there.
Yeah, the parachute's on the plane.
But it looks, that must have been held hit when it hit.
Not really. I think that crack happened in the crash. Not in the landing. In the midair, I think. It could have been. You don't hit that hard. People live through them, Dan. There are people that had heart attacks in there. You know?
I was nervous at first, but Dr. Snitzer put me at ease right away.
It's just an amazing haircut.
Detail, and I felt very comfortable with her skills. She's super nice and also very professional.
That's got to be scary coming down after you just jump the parachute.
Now my whole mouth feels great, and Dr. Snitzer is my regular dentist.
Dr. Snitzer can be your full-time.
I wonder if the guy had a back injury or anything when he hit.
6500 for your free consultation. That's 303-989-6500 or visit lasergum.info.
Another tax deadline has come and gone.
They didn't have to go to work.
What's ignoring the IRS? Maybe you have
They're so. Look at this. Oh, you can see the video of it coming down. You can see how hard it is. Oh, it's pretty hard.
Isn't that amazing? Someone had their
piano. It's pretty hard, but I guess you lived through it though.
Or even $500,000 or more. Large tax relief can help you no matter
how. But they have your phone ready to go right there on the video.
Specializes in emergency and long-term tax relief, getting between you and the IRS and state tax collectors. They'll negotiate a settlement way better than you could ever do on your own. We're all facing new challenges from the pandemic.
Almost everything can be fucking captured.
Satisfied with their care and service. Their headquarters happen to be right here in Colorado. Call now for your free evaluation.
No one really seriously
That's 844-LAR.
I mean, that's luck. Where it landed, could have landed in the freeway.
On a building.
And
tumbled down.
Right.
You're right. You know, you're right. You don't have control.
And then basically the plane getting hit, right? I mean, really, there's some better places that the plane is going to hit that it can still survive, right?
Look at this coming in for a fucking landing. I mean, it's like that Cirrus coming in. It came in just like this. But I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So let's leave it at that right now.
For Ashley.
Yeah. We got, you know, the debit card, the Relia card, it's a fraud. It happened. We don't know what we're going to be able to collect, but let's take it one step at a time. Let's at least see if the charges went to them. David, what's going on with Excel Energy, sir? What's happening?
Hold on a second. Yeah, you there?
Yes, what's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Right. I have a property.
Yeah.
It had 5 trailers on the back. In December 1st.
Now, hold on. What kind of property? Just land, you mean, right?
Well, it was 1.58 acres in Berthoud, Colorado.
Okay.
That Berthoud bought for eminent domain. And so it took us until December to get the tenants out of there.
Got it.
And then we removed the trailers. And I called Excel on the 1st of December and asked them to turn the power off because I didn't want anybody to get electrocuted. Well, it took them until April to get it shut off. Well, I didn't know they were charging me $15 per month per meter.
Okay, this is what I need to know. I'm not sure you're responsible. That's why I need to know this. How did you acquire this 1.5 acres and when?
Well, I bought it in 2005. Berthoud bought it from me in December of 2019.
Then you're not responsible after, listen, you're not responsible after they bought it.
But they allowed me to, they purchased the property, and I agreed because I needed to keep the power on for my tenants. The only thing I'm arguing about
I get it. Hold on. So Berthoud took this property in eminent domain, and they allowed you to get rid of your tenants. And so in 2019 you had some trailers. Now what I need to know is those trailers, did they pay for their own utilities under their name, or did you pay for them?
It was just easier for me to have all the meters in my name. And then
how many trailers did you say? 4?
5.
5. Okay. So why wouldn't, were they vacant at the time? When did they become vacant?
Well, I had no problem paying for them. I have no problem paying that to them up until January of 2021.
Now, that's what I need to know. Why do you believe you should not pay after January 2021?
Because I called in December to have them removed, and the trailers were physically off the property in December of 2020, but it took Excel until the middle, almost to the end of April, to pull the meters.
Oh, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. That's a lot of crap. So you... Hold on. I'm going to come right back to you. I got to get this done before the end. Hold on.
Tell your...
In which case, I don't think I've updated. Have I? Art of Granite and Simply Floors.
Hey, Pom, from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station, available on over 2,000 devices. Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, take a look at your ride this morning. Still seeing some pretty big delays as you make your way southbound I-25 due to an earlier crash that's been cleared at 84th. So it's going to be a slow
Did he sell
ride.
Energy?
He's got delays of about 5 minutes right now.
That's just bullshit. How the fuck do they charge when he was...
But they just charge him the minimum.
Yeah, but he calls for a turnoff.
They should have come. You're saying they should have stopped paying him right away.
I don't know. I don't know what the contract says.
Current temperature is 52 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm just on 630 KHOW. Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year.
Let's do this.
Because Discover is accepted at 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen report, limitations apply.
So what's special about these two companies I'm going to talk to you about? They're both run by people I know personally. They've both been around a long time, and they both are dedicated to the best values anywhere and the best people around. The Art of Granite, Mitch Floria. Here's what he does. Tear out and haul away free of all the old stuff, the bathroom free when you do the kitchen, all materials at wholesale, and prices on the phone. 303-386-5919. Good people, good service, good prices. 303-386-5919. Now let's talk about Simply Floors. If you go on the website, Simply Floors Inc., I-N-C, simplyfloorsinc.com, you make an appointment for your home. You get prices that are 20, 30, sometimes 40% or more off of even the big boxes. They are in a buying group. They can buy like the big boys, but they pass savings on to you, and they also provide better installers and better warranties and better financing, but most important, better people. Make your own appointment, simplyfloorsinc.com.
History is beautiful, brutal, and often ridiculous.
Can you believe the fucking podcast? Now listen, do you know how hard it is to build an audience? There are thousands and thousands and thousands of podcasts. How do you build an audience? And then advertise and make money. All of these, listen to these ads.
Of course, these are iHeart.
iHeart is simply a listing service like YouTube. Now, I don't know if they pay. I don't know how they do it. I think
thousands. Hi, Marty here. My friend's game.
I don't know. I don't think they pay people to do podcasts. I think they do in some cases. I think mostly it's a rev share. I think you post your podcast and they monetize it. That's how YouTube does that, the biggest aggregator in the world. YouTube doesn't pay fucking people. You don't.
Right, they get it from them. Oh, yes, they do. If you get so many...
It's rev share.
Oh, okay.
It's based on number of subscribers, and it's also based on eyeballs. So it's a rev share. It's a formula. But you don't go and negotiate a contract with, like a TV series would. And I think iHeart must be the same. You're popular. They know you the same. Man, let's do a webcast. Let's do a podcast, and we'll give you whatever 40% or whatever.
I mean, YouTube doesn't get 40% of it.
No, I don't know what the number is. I think YouTube makes the bulk of the money. I don't know. I have no idea how they do it, but I know there's fucking people making millions on YouTube.
Gotta get following. Has TikTok got as much advertising as YouTube?
But I also use the pictures.
Well, here's the other thing: is you can subscribe to YouTube with no advertising. You gotta pay.
So if you're struggling with paying,
so how does that take away from your revenue share?
I don't think it does. I think what they've done algorithms to see, in other words, they've just figured that, that
Check out.
I don't think it hurts them. They're not going to let you lose. They're not going to lose money. They're going to make sure. The good thing about subscription is whether you look at it or not, the money's coming in. Oh, but here's the one problem. Is when people subscribe, you're right. How do they dole out? It must be percentage of audience.
Right. Say 100% of the people are watching your YouTube are now subscribers.
Okay, let's say they are. How much would you get of that?
Right.
Let's say you're 5% of the YouTube universe. Then maybe you get 5%. I don't know. You know, there must be something going on. I mean, shit. This is the most amazing platform in the world. Everyone's famous.
I tell you what, YouTube. I never realized. I thought it was just going to be people.
No, change the world.
Oh, it did. But I thought it was when it first came out. It was just people putting in there like they're dancing.
I know, stupid.
But there's so many. I mean,
and there's some good shit out there.
God.
Now, here's what else is good about YouTube is. Well, I mean, it makes it everyone has their chance.
Right.
Everyone.
Oh,
it's an equalizer.
I say it's the best way as far as looking with learning and stuff. I mean, I use YouTube a lot for working on a car or something. I mean, going there and stuff. I mean, people put that up, and most of those people that put them up, I'm sure don't get any money.
No,
because they don't get enough viewers.
Right. They do it just because.
Right. Just because
they might do it to establish their authority.
Right. If they're, I mean, that could be the long-term goal, but
brand recognition, whatever. But, man,
it really does make you say Google.
Let's see. The Triple Crown is Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and what else? The other?
Belmont.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Okay, so if you have property with Excel meters on there that feed structures, there's usually a minimum charge set out by contract. So what happens when you end your agreement? Does that end, or do you have to wait for them to pull the meters? That's stupid. If you had to wait, what's to prevent them from waiting for a year? So David, you canceled, in essence, your service in December of 2020.
Yes, I started calling and trying to figure out the process of what I needed to be done. It wasn't until somewhere in February that they finally emailed me these forms that I had to fill out and send them back, and then they said I only sent one. When then they figured out no, I had sent them all.
Then it's not as simple as it was laid out. So you did not actually cancel December 2020.
I tried to.
Well, okay, but you didn't.
Process, and that's my complaint.
Yeah.
If they don't know their process.
Well,
if they'd have known it in December, then we wouldn't be having this conversation.
You're saying they purposely made it difficult?
I don't know if it's purposely, but they've used COVID. They've used.
Yeah. Do you have an original? But if you stopped using the service, they're going to say, well, the meter was still there and it was still up for use, but there was no consumption. They should be able to settle with you at least. Listen, I think it's incumbent upon you to know your agreement and how to cancel it, but if there is no process, how do you know? Do you have a contract?
No, it's just and
you wait. You never had a contract.
No. Do you have a contract with Excel that
No.
Bill?
No. But well, listen, hold on. But when I had a meter that had a minimum charge and I was in the country on 35 acres, I did. And when I've done developments, I had more than one structure, I had contracts, but they weren't like regular contracts. They just laid out, like, they said deposit and how much, and they said like termination and how to terminate and all of that. So I don't know if you would have one. So how long you had this service? For a long time, right?
Yeah, we acquired the property in 2005. We bought it.
And were the trailers already on there with meters?
Yes.
Okay, well then you wouldn't have a contract because you just inherited it all.
Yep.
Okay. Man, there is no easy answer to this one, just except to negotiate. Are they willing to do anything? How much did it amount to, let's say, from January to when they removed it?
It's like $16 times 5 times 5, so it's right around $550 to $600.
Yeah, January to April, you've racked up about $600, and will they negotiate it at all?
No. They have the shut-off dates as the end of April, and they're not willing to negotiate with anything, even though they can look back on the phone records.
All right. Do we have anyone still at Excel or not?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
We do?
Oh,
well,
yeah.
we know our guy left.
Yes, but we have a good lady up there.
All right, you hang on, and let's just see if they would be willing to negotiate. It's pretty clear you're not trying to cheat them, okay? So let's see what our angel says. I'm going to mark this as a follow-up. I'm Tom Martino. Stick around for some action-filled hours coming up.
With all Okay, remember, top of the hour icon.
What's that, sir?
Top of the hour icon.
Ways that you could save. For example,
Right,
a
thank you,
mortgage
thank you,
refinance.
thank you, thank you.
Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky for American Financing.
So what do I do
reminding
here
you
now?
that a mortgage refinance is more than
Pay
just a
$380.
lower interest rate. It's also an effective way to eliminate high-interest debt. You're able to pull out cash from your home equity so you can pay off credit card balances, personal loans, whatever you need. You'll typically receive not only a much lower rate, but also reduce the number of monthly payments that you need to focus on. And you know what else? When you choose American Financing, there are never any upfront or hidden fees, never any pressure, no obligation. So what are you waiting for? Give them a call, 303-695-7000, 303-695-7000, or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
MLS 12334 regulated by the Fisher Boone State.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
HD2. Why don't I have any of this shit written down? Where the fuck is it?
Available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
So I have Icon and Harris to do.
ABC News and Lionel Moyes. Top defense officials are briefing House lawmakers today on the biggest foreign threats to U.S. cybersecurity. In addition to China, Iran, and North Korea, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Cyber Policy Mike Oyang says Russia remains active.
They engage in a wide range of malign cyber activities, including attempts to interfere with U.S. elections, spreading ransomware.
You notice how Biden is all about going after Russia, but not China.
Not a bit on China.
And Trump was just the opposite. He was all about China.
Seriously, Biden doesn't understand. He's being led around by people. He doesn't understand. He's in a brain fog. Look at him. Look at him.
When he talks about all the good he's done and all the job creation, it's just not fucking true.
Well, it's not only not true, but he doesn't even know what he's done. I mean, people are just telling him that. Don't look at him.
Think he's totally...
Not totally, but I bet you he's in a brain fog. He can't just go out and out. You know, Trump would just start asking questions. People just would be yelling stuff out at him, and he would be, you know. Let me tell you, people say Trump is an idiot, but that guy.
I never thought he was fucking stupid. I thought he was.
Right, I understand you. I mean, that guy could talk for 3 hours, and not many people can do that. Biden, he can't talk for 5 minutes without having it down in front of him.
I've experienced some form of pain or suffering.
I mean, he looks like he's in a fog.
My father or my parents had suffered. I'm going to make sure that I break that.
He looks like Mr. Magoo.
Pass it on, basically.
Remember him on comedy? The cartoon?
What's that?
Mr. Magoo?
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah.
That's Biden.
ABC
I mean, it's
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria.
Since the dog can't see where he's going.
Every time it's a surface, you leave behind bacteria. Use Microban 24 sanitizing spray to keep surfaces sanitized all day. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Microban 24 keeps killing bacteria for 24 hours, touch after touch. When used as directed, Microban 24. Touch after touch, it doesn't give up. These days, physical distance can keep us safe and healthy, but emotional distance can strain relationships, especially if drugs or
Here people said
alcohol
that they said
are
wait
involved.
6 months to get the vaccine after having COVID. See, that's not even different. Different doctors say different things.
They're just fucking making it up as they go. I mean, honest to God, Dan, it's all fucking making it up.
Click away to end addiction. Start with Connection. To learn more, reach out to us at drugfree.org.
630 KHOW has your chance to win $1,000. Listen at 5 past the hour for the 12K a day giveaway. Listen for the keyword and enter it on our website, KHOW.com, for your chance to win $1,000. Sponsored by Guy Reese.
Brighten your home and save 10% on Benjamin Moore paint by joining the Guy Reed Loyalty Program. Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Guy Reed, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
KHOW News Time, 12:03.
Fourth wave COVID-19 case numbers are starting to decline in Colorado as eligibility for the Pfizer vaccine expands.
Over the last 2 weeks or so, we have seen that clear decline in cases in the state. This is certainly a great sign.
Listen, I want to know about that email I have to answer. Oh, here she comes. So,
guess who
who do I
wants to
send
clear
this
the
to?
air?
Huh?
Guess who wants to clear
The
the air?
owner of B&M.
No.
Nope.
Who?
Kate with Colorado Stone Services.
How does she want to clear it?
I didn't ask. She just says, I want to clear the air. I said, let me get you in queue. You can tell Tommy.
Then I'm going to
But
upload it.
I have Blake Harrison for that call yesterday, the estate checking account and the unmarried couple, one died. You wanted Blake on for that?
Who do I write to for this?
You want me to send it? Send you her email?
Or did you already?
I might have. I don't know if I did or not. If you look at, if you still have that email from me this morning, but I can just send you her email. It's not a big deal. Okay? You want me to text it or email it?
Text me.
Oh no, I am a nice person, Daniel. I only yell at Mark, and that's because he deserves it.
15 extra minutes for that ride. As you travel I-25 northbound, see some delays through there. Stop and go traffic from Downing Street Bridge out to Colfax. Give yourself 10 extra minutes for that ride. Block 31 pinpoint weather. Today is going to be a mostly sunny day with a high of 73 degrees.
This guy said, "It's like one of the old guys on the Muppets. I'm going to have to look at the Muppets."
Your current temperature is 52 degrees with your impact traffic and weather. I'm Kate Thomas, 630 KHOW. If you talk to someone and they jump back because of your breath, you need Smart Mouth, the 24-hour mouthwash. You want to turn heads, but not like that. Smart Mouth is the only mouthwash that can provide 24-hour fresh breath when used twice a day. So Smart Mouth today or visit smartmouth.com.
You know, if you have a website, you can get a free analysis of how it looks online to someone who loads it, what the images do, how you show up in search engines, and it's all free at getfoundfast.com. They want you to be their client. They know what they're doing when it comes to website presence and when it comes to sites.
Blake Harris Law.
Google friendly.
Yeah.
This is a real deal. We use them. You should too. You know, there.
You said he's got a big TikTok following,
in
huh?
the space. Go to someone that we found to be genuine, accurate, and getfoundfast.com.
The Blackton Massacre, a riveting true crime podcast, is back for season 2. In 2016, 8 members of the same family were slain.
Did you know
a local family of
that these guys
murders.
have a mailer out where they get 50% off?
They're accused of doing this together. They're accused of trying to cover it up together as a family.
You do that?
It's all different.
Or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yep.
Nick
sells homes faster and
has been in very close touch with me.
spelled JAYE.com.
Oh, yeah,
Dan Kaplan Show.
No, he has subtracting on so much shit you would not believe.
Asked you behind the mic. He'll fill in for me, and he is ready.
He's a good guy.
And unfiltered, undeterred, tan, rested, and ready. Don't miss right.
Denver's Talk
Number
Station
icon.
is your chance to win.
Back on in about 10 seconds.
Just enter this
Thank you.
nationwide keyword on our website. Budget. That's budget. Enter it now at KHOW.com. Keep listening to win with a 12K
By text,
giveaway. This is the Trouble.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I am here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, and to take complaints. And I cannot say enough about Icon Eye Care. This hour brought to you by Icon Eye Care, because they're the ones that gave me the gift of near-perfect vision and never needing glasses and never getting cataracts, because I have new lenses. Yes, new lenses. I didn't have cataracts. I just decided to do the clear lens exchange, meaning I turned in my clear lenses for new ones, but my clear lenses, of course, had deteriorated as far as what I could see. And here's what's great. It gives you better vision. Now, in my case, perfect vision. In some cases, you might need readers with tiny, tiny little low-light situation, whatever. No matter what, you're going to get great improvement. And you can either do that, or, of course, they do LASIK. In fact, they were one of the pioneers in LASIK. Icon, that's I-C-O-N, IconEyecare.com, 866-GOT-ICON. Every day I get up and see crystal clear, and I just thank them. It's one of the things that you always remember. Icon Eye Care. That's IconEyecare.com, 866-GOT-ICON, to find out more. Now, listen, let's talk. We have a question for Blake Harris, attorney at law. And also an announcement here. Mile High Estate Planning will now become BlakeHarrisLaw.com. And that's because he's branching out and will be more than just Mile High. So he'll be higher and lower. Blake Harris, attorney at law. Hi, Blake. How are you, sir? Now,
great.
Did you see your pretty face on the cover of 303 Consumer Magazine?
I did. I've gotten a few text messages today that the magazine was out.
Yeah. 303consumer.com is the website where you can download your own digital copy. There's a link there. And by the way, you did a centerpiece, and you did it on the biggest mistakes people make in their estate planning, which is really valuable and is pretty abbreviated, so you know you're not muck and mired in a lot of words. We wrote it together, and it really has some great information. In fact, I already got someone who read it and said they never realized it. And we have you on for a question with an estate checking account. So hang on and let's listen to this one. David, so let's recap this, sir. You're calling, David, about a man and a woman who had joint accounts. They had a joint checking and a joint savings, right?
Correct.
And the woman died.
Correct.
They weren't married, or were they holding themselves out to be married?
No. Weren't married, never held themselves out to be married.
They were married.
Oh, no, they were not married.
Were not married. They were just, why? Just out of curiosity, why did they have joint stuff?
Well, this was the only joint stuff they had, except for perhaps insurance policies.
But why would they have even bank accounts and insurance policies together? I'm just curious more than anything. It seems weird.
That's one I can't answer. They were together for, I'm told, for 20 years. The last couple of years, they've lived separately.
Okay, so she died, and there's money in the joint savings and the joint checking. Not that much, but there's money. And you want to know what? What is your question?
The question is, she has 4 credit cards and 1 loan from the same bank. The 4 credit cards are now in the no payment for 90 days, or she's 90 days past due on payments on the credit cards. The loan, we're not sure whether or not the gentleman signed on the loan. She did a personal consolidation loan at the bank.
Okay, so basically she has a lot of bills. Okay, let's just put it that way. And you want to know, how does this affect the man? How does she settle her estate, or did she have a will?
No will.
Okay, so who is stepping up, first of all? Did anyone step up to open up a probate?
Probate has not been opened, although it's a small estate, and a sister of hers is operating under a small estate affidavit.
But you also indicated that there may not be enough assets to cover liabilities.
It's going to be close.
Okay. So the question is, do you even have to go with it? And what do you do? I have a number of basic questions for Blake Harris. So, Blake, let's just take this one in general. What if someone dies in the family, they're a black sheep or whatever, and you just don't want to go near their estate because they have a whole bunch more bills than they do assets? Can you ignore it?
Yes, you're not obligated to probate anybody's estate.
Okay, that's a good one. Now, next question. In this case, if this man has joint accounts with her and she has bills, what portion of those accounts does he have to allot for her bills?
He doesn't have to allot anything. I would take that money out of the bank account, put it into a different bank account, and not worry about paying those bills.
Because if it's in both of their names, he's allowed to do that.
I mean, I'm assuming that the account is held with the right to survivorship the way most joint accounts are, in which case the joint owner is now the full sole owner of those, and the money in the joint account is not subject to probate creditors. Okay, so David?
Yes.
Is it held for right? Almost all of them are right of survivor. Do you know how the account is held? Very seldom is it a partnership account where you actually have 50-50, but it might be.
I would imagine it would be right of survivor.
So Blake is saying to make things simple, draw it out.
I suggested that to him, and he's more elderly and really doesn't want to be troubled with moving his account. The other problem is,
well, he better. He doesn't have to move it. He just has to make a new one at the same bank if he wants. But seriously, David.
Okay.
I mean, if he keeps that account open, it's going to be subject, or maybe it won't be. Blake, will it be subject to levies?
It should not be, but it does concern me a little bit having the bank account at the same place where the person had debt. The banks do funny things.
Oh, you're right. Co-collateral agreements. You're right. David, this guy's going to have to get a grip on reality. How elderly is he?
That I don't know, but he's older than you and I, Tom.
So he's in his 80s, maybe?
I would say he's in his 70s.
Okay. Now, you got to talk to him and say, look, to keep things smooth, you really should take the money out. You have every right to do it, and just open an account somewhere else.
All right. Could you do it at the same bank, or would you suggest
what Blake just said is he doesn't suggest the same bank for a reason. And he doesn't just mean the location. He means the institution. And I'll tell you why.
Correct.
There is a cross-collateralization agreement we all sign when we open accounts. And what it says is, if you have trouble with one account, they can go into another to reconcile. So
exactly. I called you once about that, and I had everything changed because of that.
That's a good thing. So anyway, here's the deal. What you're talking about is easy, but you got to have a cooperative person. You don't want him getting muck and mired into her bills and trying to sort out which money was hers and which money wasn't.
Would it make any difference if the only income to his account is his Social Security and some small pensions?
You're calling something, this is called substance over form, where if you're in a bankruptcy or if you're in some kind of creditor situation, they're trying to collect, let's say, from her, and they were alive, where derivation of funds comes into sometimes play in court, where you can show the actual trail of money to actually get to the substance. But I don't know what happens after death. So, Blake, would the derivation of funds, the origination of those funds, help him?
Yes, it could, but you would rather just avoid the entire... I mean, at that point, you're going to court and having to fight over it and prove it, and that's going to cost a lot of money. It's a lot easier just to nip this in the bud and get the money away from that bank. If it was brought into court, yes, where the funds came would make a difference, but that's a very hard way to solve what's not a very hard problem.
Yeah. You see, we all get back to that same thing, bro. We want to make it simple.
Well, that was my first suggestion to him, because I've listened to you forever.
Good.
And
then you are an old fart.
I am. My earliest memory, and of listening to you, and I've listened before that point in time, was when Capitalist took over the last hour of your show.
Yeah. Dan, I introduced Dan to radio years ago. He credits me for that. He was, he was my fill-in. He was truly remarkable. Then he went off. You know where he really got his legs for radio is after that he took over for the consumer stuff. It was during the OJ trial he started doing back-to-back coverage. Well, after about a year, I think, he did back-to-back coverage of the OJ trial, and then branched off into issues, where, of course, that's, But thank you
I remember that. One more question.
Yeah.
In settling the debts on the estate, how would Blake, there's two other banks involved, only in her name.
What are you talking, to settling what? What are you talking about?
Well, if she's got credit card debts.
No one has to settle anything. Why would he have to? He wouldn't have to settle anything.
No, not him. But as her sister's been disposing of her goods, and
Okay, now she's got to be careful. If you dispose of stuff and you start collecting money and you disperse it to yourself, they can come after you. Isn't that right, Blake?
Technically, they can, but if a probate doesn't get opened, it's very unlikely a credit card company is going to open a probate and then go after family members who have been disposing of tangible personal property.
So I have a very quick question. If you guys could hang on, just hang on if you could, because this is important, and then we'll go on. I'm Tom Martini.
Return? During tax season, all the info identity thieves need is
Did I do
tax
icon?
return.
Yes.
That's why LifeLock monitors
Did you send it to me?
information. Alerts you to possible
Hey,
suspicious
is it possible to send me the open of this hour? Just the first 5 minutes so I can get the icon?
I already edited and sent it to Suzanne.
Man, you're good, Ann.
And you sent it to me.
First year at LifeLock.
All right, here you go. Ideal color, thank you.
News.
Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. What do I mean by ideal? First of all, you pick your own term. That's ideal. You don't have to go back to 30. You don't have to go back to 20. You do whatever, or 15. You do whatever you want. And then, of course, this is the best part, the interest rate guarantee. How do you beat that? If interest rates go down even further, they refinance you free of charge. And then don't forget salaried loan officers who are in it to win it for you, getting you the best loans. And then credit optimization. It's a little more difficult to understand than the other benefits, but this is where, even though you're approved, they still do something to tweak your credit by maybe telling you to pay something down by a few bucks or correct an address or something. And that can get you massively better credit rating. Really, just stuff like that. This is the only place that works with you like this. IdealHomeLoans.com for your next ideal home loan. Brent Ivinson at the helm since the early 90s, and he's there for you. 303-867-7000. You know who else is there for you? ColoradoPainCare.com. Listen, I love to be able to talk firsthand about this. I was in pain for many years, and then, to make a long story short, I got out of pain through really good stuff offered by Colorado Pain Care, right? Okay, so years I'm out of pain, then all of a sudden pain comes back for some reason. I might have injured myself, who knows? And I was miserable. So what do? I make an appointment with ColoradoPainCare.com. They specialize in pain, in getting rid of pain, in getting your life back. ColoradoPainCare.com. I swear to you, I filled out the form. They called me just like a regular patient. I went in, before I even got there, they had reviewed all of my medical history and had recommendations. They did a trigger point injection, got me out of pain immediately. Now they're working on a long-range plan. These are the people for pain. Colorado Pain Care, all major insurance accepted. 303-GOT-PAIN.
You know, sometimes you just want something repaired. You don't want to replace it. I don't care if it's a refrigerator, a furnace, or an air conditioning unit. That's what the folks at 888heating.com do. They
Mile High is changing.
Is a new unit.
So he's getting new banners then and everything.
Everything.
Is he going to get a new different website or keep the same?
With variable speeds and very quiet fans. 888
What's that, sir?
Is he going to get a new website?
888heating.com. One more time.
It is already.
888heating.com.
He looks a little kind of...
Hi, didn't you?
He looks devilish in this picture.
added replacement windows and doors. Spring and home show.
You know, I'm going to say something. That fucking designer we had, he's good. I mean, that doesn't look like just a fucking mailer.
What about that?
No, but the software nowadays, I know, of course.
Will lay out our tried and true actual cabinet style and color selections, our countertop options, all of the updated looks to get that shower replaced, and an awesome digitally interactive window and door design process. And we'll bring the show savings right to you also. Folks, when you book your full project now for select install days, you'll enjoy our traditional 8% home show savings. Call and check us out.
I really do think, boy, if you have 2 pages of just referrals,
or you can replace the windows and doors.
No, I will. I couldn't do it this time around. I was doing it as a surprise to begin with. Or I didn't, and it was during this pandemic, so I didn't want to get into it, like, well, what is it? What are we going to do? So I should have just done it because it doesn't do harm to the referrals. It only helps it, right? But I didn't want any misconstruing, like, oh, you're using the referrals to promote this. I didn't want any kind of...
And then you could, like highlight the ones that advertise.
Get your AC checked before it's too hot to bear. Fix It 24/7 has a deal for you. Clean, check, adjust, and practically refurbish the AC and furnace too for just $68. That's both services. And since they work together, it makes sense. Plus, you won't find a better price for the extensive work and deep cleaning anywhere. FixMyHome.com. That's FixMyHome.com.
When you have trouble, fix it 24/7.
All the benefits of IVs at your door. Rocky Mountain IV Medics. Hydration, immunosupport, migraines, general wellness. Call or text 720-987-2155. Rocky Mountain IV Medics. 720-987-2155.
Hey, reality check here. Will the numbers add up for your retirement plan? Let's hear from the experts at Allworth Financial. When we're under 59 and a half, we have all these restrictions on when we can take money out. When we hit age 72, we have required minimum distributions. It's the golden tax window for retirement plan, and that's just the reality of it. The right advisor helps make everything clear. For your free consultation, call 866-770-5953 or visit allworthfinancial.com.
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
The NHL told Canadian government they need an answer on the Stanley Cup playoffs coronavirus-related border travel by June 1st.
See,
the
all fucking unelected officials making life. Fuck you all.
The Rockies 10-0 lead to 10-8. The Rockies answer with 3 more to put the game away. And the Nuggets picked up another key win in the race for the 3 seed, defeating the Timberwolves. I'm Misty Jordan.
Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code SPORTS for a special offer when you sign up. That's code SPORTS for a special offer.
I've said this to Mark, and he kind of disagrees sometimes, but I'm going to say it to you. All the shit we're going through and all the bad stuff, you're never going to hear about it in mainstream media, ever. Not ever. Not anything that has negative connotation. And Democrats, I will tell you this, if they're fucking suffering, won't admit they made a mistake. They will take it. They will not revolt.
Oh, I agree with that.
That's how much sheep they are.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Blake Harris from BlakeHarrisLaw.com, formerly Mile High Estate Planning. That's because he's branching out, which is good news. And anyway, 833 Ask Blake. Let's talk to him. Basically, he gave us the information, and it's really solid, and that is you do not have to go out of your way when it comes to someone's estate. So many people believe that they have to inherit the debt and the obligations. And in fact, these timeshare exit people, and I don't mean any company named that, I mean the industry, they kind of mislead you. And they say, oh, you're going to be strapped with a timeshare and all of your heirs, which isn't true. Now, Blake Harris, let's talk. So, in essence, if somebody's estate is a mess, you walk away. But there's a very fine line here I want to talk about. What if you have a brother or a sister or a kid, whatever, parent, and they have a lot of really good personal stuff you want, but you don't want to open up probate?
Are you allowed to just go and start taking personal stuff? I mean, as long as you and the heirs are in sync. I mean, if there's no will, or even if there is a will, do you have to notify creditors, or do you have to do anything official to get the personal stuff?
No, you don't. I mean, technically, the value of that personal stuff should go to pay the debts first, but if you take it and nobody complains for 1 year, then you're scot-free. So I would probably advise someone, if their debts, if the personal property is pretty ordinary stuff, it's not artwork worth millions of dollars, you could take this stuff, and the chances that a creditor is actually going to claw it back are pretty much none.
Okay, and again, though, let's say one of those paintings they took was worth $1 million, obviously, and there's a state debt. I mean, it could. I mean, in the purest form, it could be yanked back.
It could be. I mean, if there's very expensive, tangible personal property, talking hundreds of thousands, talk to an attorney, and we can navigate how to handle that. But for the general person who has maybe $10,000, $20,000 in credit card debt and $10,000, $20,000 worth of personal belongings, if you take that stuff, the chances that somebody's going to open probate and try to recoup tangible personal property from family members, very close to zero.
Here's what I want to know. Okay, so what does an estate probate have to be open for? Where is it mandatory?
When it is mandatory that an estate is opened?
Yeah, when is it mandatory?
It's mandatory if you want to receive property if you want to receive either real estate, if there's real estate in somebody's personal name and they passed away, you want that property, you have to go through probate. Or if there's more than $70,000 in a bank account, you have to go through probate. Okay, now. Again. Yes, go ahead. So really, anything titled where title has to be transferred? Yes, exactly.
Where there's a recorded title. So.
Yes, the recorded title, and it's valued at more than $70,000.
Let's ask David if he has any specific questions more. David, I hope we covered everything. Do you have any other specific questions we did not cover?
The only thing was that her sister intends to try and settle her debt. You know, she does not want to profit from this.
Well, okay, but she doesn't have to profit from it. She doesn't have to do anything. I mean, if she wants to, she can, but there's a lot of brain damage here. So
yeah, well, as they've been, for example, under the small state affidavit, I disposed of the lady's car.
Okay.
And sold it wholesale. I thought she'd be upside down on the car, but it netted $8,000.
Then that money needs to be paid toward her bills. You know that, right? But Blake, do they just go out and pay bills, or do they wait for claims to come in?
Wait for claims to come in. If you haven't opened up probate, don't go search around for creditors to give that money to.
But probate is opened now. So what do they do? Do they have to advertise?
Probate has not been opened.
I thought probate, I'm sorry, it was a small estate affidavit. Isn't that the same as probate?
Nope. Small estate affidavit certain skips probate. Is outside.
Does that mean you can actually screw the creditors then?
It means that, so the creditors still have the right to open probate themselves as a creditor. But if a creditor doesn't come forward, then you can take the assets.
Okay, so you don't have to warn. So he has $8,000 now. He can just keep it. He doesn't have to put out word to anyone.
Correct. Now, a creditor could come back for up to 1 year after the person passed away, open up probate, and try to claw that money back. But it's pretty unlikely that any creditor is going to do that for $8,000.
So, Blake, are there people in companies who look for death?
Yes. I mean, the IRS, Medicaid,
but what about Capital One? I mean, there must be some sizable debtors out there. Are there people that scan public records to find out who died?
So, Yes, but no. Typically, what they do is they wait until something is published, and until there's a notice put out of someone's death. And there are companies that scan the newspaper for when people pass away.
Or let's say now they do internet searches. Let's say, or whatever.
Right. So yes, these big debt collection agencies have ways of searching out to see if there's been a newspaper publication if someone has passed away. If someone just passes away and has debt, I imagine it happens, but it's not very frequent that it happens that creditors are starting probate unless it was an active creditor beforehand. Somebody is suing Tom Martino, and then Tom passes away. Yes, that creditor may be active in probate, but big companies, they wait until they find a notification of a death. As far as I'm aware, they're not typically out there searching around death certificates, seeing who died. They wait until a probate gets opened. It's just more cost effective for them.
All right, but if someone does a small small estate affidavit, they bypass probate, or if they have trusts and stuff that you design, they bypass, and they get to do it the right way. Right? Or not the right way, but they do it more efficiently.
More cost efficiently, correct?
Yeah, and could also ace out creditors. A well-planned trust. I'm not saying you do it on purpose, but let's face it, a well-planned trust can preserve assets from creditors for your heirs. Right?
Correct.
Okay. And that's, yeah. And so from now on, David, you have any more questions, it's 833-ASK-BLAKE, 833-ASK-BLAKE. And again, you're at 303consumer.com. That's the website for the magazine where you can get a digital copy. And one of the things he highlights, one of the 10 mistakes, and we'll go over some of these at other times, but not planning for long-term care costs. Think about that. He has a way that you can have a trust that plans for this, that keeps your spouse or loved ones from living in poverty. But you get the long-term care you need. That's just one of the many tips he has at 303consumer.com. Get your digital copy.
Westbound, seeing some pretty big delays through there still due to a stall at Dahlia. While that's been cleared, it's still stop-and-go traffic from Peoria right now. 531 pinpoint weather, looking at a high of 73 degrees today, mostly sunny, low 48 degrees and potential storm. Your current temperature is 52 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Kay Thomas, 630 KHOW. If you talk to someone and they...
About 10 seconds, Green Jeans, Home Investors.
Smart Mouth, the 24-hour mouthwash. You want to turn fast. Smart Mouth is the only mouthwash that can provide 24-hour fresh breath when used twice a day. Pick up a bottle of Smart Mouth today or visit smartmouth.com.
So, Mr. Green Jeans, he was a character on Captain Kangaroo, but he's my landscaper. They gave him the name, and it's a cool organization, Mr. Green Jeans. LLC.com. It's really Tammy and Bob and their son Travis and their team. In business since 91, 30 years. They're maintenance landscapers. They do cleanup, aeration, lawn care, tree and shrub care, sprinkler repair, also installation, and fertilizer treatments. Whatever you need, they do. And I really have a wonderful personal experience with them. Our lawn is the greenest on the block. It's just the way it is. Hey, they have openings for new customers. Mr. Green Jeans, LLC.com, 303-426 4945, 426 4945. There are different ways to sell your house. One is to put up a sign and list it with a realtor and all that. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's some people that just want to get up and get out. Some people don't want to pay commissions. Some people don't want to do repairs. And Lord knows they don't want to go through inspections. Really. And that's okay. So they want to get a bid. Call Homevestors. Now, we know these guys. They've purchased, what, like 3,000 houses so far in the Denver area? So they may purchase yours. And before you say, Tom, they're never going to give me what I want, you actually don't know that unless you call. And here's the thing, man. Even if you're going to go the conventional route, you have nothing to lose by calling. Homevestors. 800-44-BUYER. 800-44-BUYER.
Donating plasma is an important thing to do.
It's that simple.
Well, because it helps make life-changing medicines that treat people with rare diseases.
But why?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
But why?
You sound like grandma.
But why?
You tell me, buddy. BioLife Plasma Services needs life-saving plasma, which is why new donors could earn $1,000 in the first month. So go ahead and take a break from all the questions and change some lives while you're at it. BioLife. There's purpose in your plasma. Visit biolifeplasma.com to learn more.
Hey there, homeowners. Are you experiencing pipe leaks? Is your water bill unexpectedly high? Or are you suffering from low water pressure? These are signs of widespread pipe failure due to mold, corroded, and shoddy pipes. Rerouting a pipe or other band-aid fixes are not the answer. Only a whole house repipe with brand new high-quality pipes or copper will permanently solve the problem. Repipe specialists. No more leaks and great water pressure. They've been doing this for over 25 years, serving over 40,000 happy customers. Repipe in just 1 to 2 days at half the cost of a plumber with a lifetime guarantee. So say goodbye to leaks once and for all. Enjoy a pipe leak-free home and eliminate the risk of potential water damage. Call us today for your free in-home estimate. We'll even take 20% off our already low price and receive 0% interest when you call today. 720-573-0086. 720-573-0086. That's 720-573-0086. The house you're living in right now would cost you less. You've just got to refinance to one of these historically low mortgage rates. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky from my friends at American Financing, reminding you there's never been a better time to get an absolutely free mortgage review with no obligation and no upfront fees from American Financing. It's just a simple, easy conversation around which program might be a better fit for you. Because rates really are still near historic lows, and chances are you could benefit even if you refinanced or bought a home last year. You might still be eligible. It could mean a lower monthly payment. It could mean thousands or tens of thousands in long-term savings, and you don't have to restart your term. You know what else? You might even be able to postpone your mortgage payment, so even more upfront savings. Don't put a refinance off any longer. Rates won't stay this low forever. Call 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000.
I cannot say enough about Icon Eye Care. One of the things that you always remember. Icon Eye Care.
You guys, you've been hearing a lot about how well CBD is working.
IconEyecare.com. 866-GOT-ICON.
Knows I've got a few. But seriously, let me reinforce that the more I use Blue Sky CBD, the more aware I am on how much it is helping. And I talked about using the balm, hurt my shoulder a while back, so I've been applying that directly there, and it really has helped. But I also use the tinctures in the morning for clarity and energy.
Oh, Tom, I can tell you, remember that old guy that had the thing from Ghana?
Yeah.
The bank account? He texted me last night.
I got ripped
it.
What others are saying.
It's a total scam. All of his emails.
He doesn't believe it.
It's like a bishop is doing it, a bishop, and then guess where his email? It's Hotmail. This bishop is trying to.
But does the guy does the guy still think they're good friends of his?
He says we're not there to help him.
Oh, so he doesn't believe us.
CBD.
And he doesn't understand he was totally fucking ripped off, right? Totally. He won't come back on or anything.
I could try to call him, but
so hold on. So he had to pay the bank how much?
See, if you read his stuff, he's all over the place.
He won't be honest with us.
Well, it's all over the place and stuff like 1,300.
Tell him to call DIA and get his 10 grand. Tell him that. I'll call DIA. You know what? It's not there.
Well, of course not. I don't think the guy's there. I try to look the guy up, but he says it was. I couldn't find the guy.
Let's do an update on that. The two of us.
For the 12K a day giveaway. Listen to the keyword and enter it on our website, khow.com, for your chance to win $1,000. Sponsored by Guy Reese.
brighten your home and save 10% on Benjamin
About 10 seconds. Back in.
program. Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Guy Reed, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Tony, sorry for the wait. What's going on with you, Tony? Let's talk.
Yeah. So, my wife and I, we got a realtor to go out and buy a house. And, from what she was saying, her commission fees and everything like that will be paid by the seller.
Well, they're all, listen, it's funny because whether they're paid by the seller or paid by the buyer, they're always paid by everyone. And there's this one advertising going on now that I believe is a bit misleading. What they say is this: we have a new way of doing it that where the seller pays the buyer pays all commissions, so you net more money. The buyer pays all commissions. Well, obviously, no matter who pays, it's going to be built in. I mean, it's like they're paying more money on the buying side, or the seller's taking less, or whatever. The bottom line is this: there's no magic when it comes to commissions. They're there, and no one's going to work for nothing. So let's talk about this. You got a buyer's agent. Specifically, you signed a buyer's agency agreement. Is that right?
No, as a matter of fact, we haven't signed anything.
Okay.
She's going around, so what she's doing...
Wait a minute, is she showing you stuff without an agreement?
Yes.
Okay. So what's going on?
So me and my wife decided that instead of buying a pre-built home, we were actually going to have one built in a community that's going up by us.
Got it.
So I asked her, how the commission works on that, because we ended up going through and using the builder's preferred lender to be able to finance this. Now, from what she was stating, and I'm not saying she's lying, I just don't know, I have a hard time trying to put this together.
Go ahead.
Is she was saying that the builder will still pay her commission, so it's still zero out of pocket out of me and my wife.
Well, hold on. They're right. I mean, but here's what it is. The builder will pay it if the builder will pay it. For example, you may see a home builder advertise homes, and they may say, no co-op fees paid. Okay? In other words, real estate people, stay away. We're not going to pay you. Where did the guy go? Anyway, if he wants to call back, I'll have him call back. But it's really important we talk about that, because they don't have to pay them. If they say up front, we're not going to pay them. But no matter what, the only way they're going to pay them, the only way, is if you mention it right up front. If you go there and start talking to their people, they're not going to pay. Is he back on, Suze? No? Okay. Well, I'll wait for him to call then. Now, this is something really important, and I want to give her time, so I'm not going to take it right before a break. But it has to do with Colorado Stone down in the Colorado Springs area, right? This is where we had a really big deal going on.
Tom?
Yes.
Colorado Stone Services, not to be confused with Colorado Stone Works down in Colorado Springs.
I want you to stay tuned. This had to do with a guy that brought his car in to be serviced. Something was missing. Now, he did accuse them of taking it or leaving his car unlocked so someone else could take it. Okay? He didn't say they took it directly. He said either they took it or they left their car unlocked because there was only one key and blah, blah, blah. Now, as I said, it went from there and it got wild. And we were going to call it done and just basically say, look, this is what it is. And these people are lying. I don't know why they're lying. But Kate called in, and I believe in giving everyone their say. So we got that coming right up.
Now, approve or reverse and K&H about a minute.
Smart Mouth, the only 24-hour mouthwash with twice daily use.
From the Backyard Sports Traffic Center, we'll take your ride this afternoon. Some slow spots to be aware of if you're traveling northbound I-25. Got a crash at Colfax. It's being cleaned up and moved to the right shoulder, but still 22 minutes as we see speeds return to normal. And I-70 westbound, seeing some pretty big delays through there still due to a stall at Dahlia. While that's been cleared, it's still stop-and-go traffic from Peoria right now. Fox 31 pinpoint weather had a high of 74.
Everything went smooth this week.
So 48 degrees and a potential storm. Your current temperature is 52 degrees. With
Your dog's in the
weather, I'm at the top of 6:30.
One dog is up there, and then I gotta go pick it up with my son tonight. His dog.
10 seconds. Approve reverse cadence.
24-hour mouthwash. You want to turn heads, but not like that. Smart Mouth is the only mouthwash that can provide 24-hour fresh breath when used twice a day. Pick up a bottle of Smart Mouth today or visit smartmouth.com.
So Mother's Day was a few days ago. In honor of Mother's Day, K&H Home Solutions wants to extend a special through the end of the month. Now, you don't have to have the work done this month. You just have to call in and schedule at least an appointment to preserve those prices. What are those prices? Let's just say you want a beautiful Provia entry door. You'll get 25% off. Now, let's say you want to add to that soft light windows. By the way, the Energy Star partner for sustained excellence 7 years straight. So then you get a door and some windows, 30% off that package. Or you want to do a whole house facelift and add the best siding in the world, Everlast siding. By the way, that is a lifetime of durability with the color going through and through. It's beautiful, okay? It's the best siding, the only siding I would consider. The best. Now, if you get that siding along with the beautiful soft light windows and the entry doors, then you get 35% off the package. Plus you're dealing with a company of 65 years strength. KHWindows.com. Make your own appointment. KHWindows.com. Right now, equities are high and interest is low. It's perfect time to tap into your equity if you need it, or you may just want it there as an emergency fund. You can do that with a reverse loan. A reverse loan will pay off what you owe, and the rest will go into a line of credit or regular monthly payments, whatever you want. Here's how a reverse loan works. You don't make payments. It accrues against the balance of your home, but they assure you it is guaranteed never to go above what you owe or what the house is worth. So you'll never be strapped with negative equity. Neither will your estate. And if your house goes up, you get to keep the extra. Approval, reverse.com. 303-771-3528.
History is beautiful, brutal.
Yeah, so he sent an email yesterday that his name's Tyrone.
Yeah.
And all the texts and emails that he's getting.
You had an interesting caller today. Some guy that said black people are hesitant to take the vaccine
because they think they're experimenting on.
Yeah, because of the
like Tuskegee. Did they really do that with the blacks in Tuskegee?
Yeah, they experimented on exclusively with black people. Like,
without telling them?
Right.
Yeah. Without telling them.
Well, they didn't inject them.
Yeah, it's like almost as infamous as like the MK Ultra thing. This is like way back when.
What's the MK Ultra? The acid?
Yeah, that's where they unwittingly dosed American soldiers with acid, LSD, tried to induce mind control, all that kind of stuff. So the Tuskegee experiments and MK Ultra are like famous experiments where American government didn't tell Americans about like what they were doing with them.
Right, but they didn't inject them with the people had syphilis, and half of them they gave them stuff, and half of them they just let it go, and then they seen how the disease progressed without treatment.
You can make multiple bags.
Yeah, they injected 600, or they injected 399 black males with syphilis.
No, they didn't. No. I just read a thing on there. They didn't inject any. They didn't treat them. Hold
on. What are you saying, Dan?
They didn't treat them.
I love
say that again.
They didn't treat them. They didn't inject them. They already had syphilis. They just didn't treat them.
Oh, okay.
And then they followed the disease like that without treating.
Okay.
From 42 to 72, I think it was, from 1932 to 72. They quit in 1972.
Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with my.
And then they got sued for $10 million.
Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. When buying chicken, do you ever wonder what your chicken was fed and how it affects the taste and texture? At Redbird Farms, their chicken's vegetarian fed. Chemical and antibiotic-free and cage-free. Their chicken's drinking water is filtered, and you can truly taste the difference. Redbird Farms chicken is always juicy, tender, and delicious. Find Redbird Farms chicken in King Soopers, Safeway, and City Market.
If you read his emails, they're just stringing him along, trying to pull every dollar he can from him.
Chicken tastes like.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus
I know.
and Enterobacter erythema bacteria.
And he won't, he refuses to believe it's a scam, right? But why would he pay more than his actual loan?
I don't even know if he's saying it right.
Well, he said the loan was 10 grand.
Right, but now pay 12. I don't know how he paid it. Why? Who would pay that?
Well, but he won't talk to you about it.
No, you don't have to.
24 hours touch after touch. When used as directed, Microban 24.
I told him, I said,
remind me to talk about it. I want to talk about it in the next hour.
I said, after looking at this here, I can guarantee you this is a scam.
To keep his books and
You guys just don't want to help me.
ASAP.
Quick.
Hey, John, have you ever heard of a fungible good?
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need a pee.
Indeed you do.
I'm going to block
Help you immediately get your short list of
All right, gentlemen, you're back in about 10.
Checkout criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Let's get right to the phones. Okay, I want to just say this. A guy called and said he took his truck to B&M Transmission, Colorado Springs, to have some work done. And to make a long story short, he said a computer was missing. He believes it was stolen or it was removed. It was either removed by them or they left it unlocked. When we first called Stephanie at the place at B&M, she said, without a doubt, she said they had a security video that showed him getting out of his truck with something and getting in the Nissan and driving off. That's it. And it's on video. And she said she got the video from Colorado Stone Services across the street, and that the deputy saw it, and that some of her employees saw it. She was adamant about that. Yes, she also said there was an eyewitness. One of her techs saw the guy, too, when he pulled in to go to work. So, that's that. But it all boiled down to this video because no one could show us the video. Also, the sheriff's department told us they saw a video, but there was nothing on it. There was no vehicle that could be seen over there. You could hardly see their property, and you definitely didn't see Austin getting out of his vehicle. All right? So then when we told Stephanie that, she said, no, there is a video. She kept saying there was a video. She even has said at one time, the video may not show anything, but there's a video. Then she said, there is a video, and I even have Kate here from Colorado Stone Services. And Deputy Doc had talked to Kate earlier that day, and Kate said to him, according to Deputy Doc, there was nothing on the video that showed the vehicle or showed Austin getting in the vehicle or getting out of the vehicle. But when I talked to her on the air, and I have all this on tape, she said, yes, there was a video, yes, there was a pickup truck, and yes, you could see Austin getting out with something. So, that's where we left it. I concluded they had done a lie, and I don't know why. I don't know why. That Stephanie was lying, backed up by Kate. And again, I said to Kate, let me see the video, and I will make everything right. I will go and promote B&M, and I will go after Austin. Let's make this right. So really it got out of hand because all we wanted to do is see the video that they claimed to have. And the only reason we wanted to see it is because it was really accusing Austin of being a thief and false reporting. And that's where we left it. So Kate called today on her own, said, I would like to clear the air. So Kate, you heard the setup, so go ahead and I'll shut up.
Hi, Tom. Yes, sir. I am calling just to kind of clear the air. Like you said, Deputy Doc called me and asked if I had seen a video or produced a video to the police. Let me backtrack. When all of this happened, I was asked by B&M to look over the video to see if we could see anybody who stole it. They were honestly, I thought, trying to help make sure that Austin's stuff got recovered. So I showed the video to the deputy, and I mean, you can see the car, which is what I was trying to tell you on the phone the other day, and you can see Austin that's kind of as far as it goes. There's nothing really to view. So that's why nothing else was taken. You know, the video was not given to the police or anything like that. And that's kind of where I thought the end of it was. And then I got a call asking about the video, and I was like, well, they viewed the video, but I didn't give it to them. And they said, then I heard that, you know, that what was in question was the fact that that Austin was on the video. And so I didn't know if I had done anything wrong by saying what I said. I just said, you know, yeah, you can see him. That's kind of all I have.
So you have a video of him getting out of did you say a car? Was it a truck or a car? I forget. What was it?
He was dropped off with a car, a black Accord, I believe.
According to them?
According to Austin.
Yeah. So, Austin, okay. So was that when he went to pick up his truck, or did you see him earlier, as Stephanie had said it was 7:20 in the morning before that?
Well,
see, he doesn't dispute that he was dropped off to go pick up his car. But did the video, what she said originally is that around 7:20 in the morning it showed him getting out of his vehicle and carrying something and getting into another car and speeding away. But here's the point. I don't want to rush you, so hold on if you want to continue. But you're saying, yes, you can see a car and you can see Austin. Well, what time was that? Was it when he went to pick up his truck? Because, yes, he went there that day, but he's saying he didn't go there earlier that day to get the computer. And why now are we saying, you know, the sheriff said he couldn't see it?
It's been 2 years since QC Colorado installed my whole house fan, so I can speak from firsthand.
What do you think's going on? Do you think? I mean, why would she perpetrate this again?
I think
there's something on there.
No, I don't think there is.
What is she telling? Is she lying?
No, she's just saying that it shows the truck.
But the sheriff said you could not see his truck.
I don't know. I think even Austin said you can see the truck, but there's nothing
on the video.
On the video there.
Well, either you can or you can't.
Right, but it's not. But they never seen. It doesn't show him going over the truck or anything.
And yet, state politicians want to create a one-size-fits-all health insurance system called the state government option. It gives politicians greater control over your health care, threatening the coverage you already have, and increasing costs. It's time to tell politicians we cannot afford the state government option. Learn how at coloradoshealthcarefuture.org.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. Number one for music, radio, and podcasts. All in one.
You know, I knew that's all there was there.
What'd she say? I missed it.
Nothing.
Exactly.
You can just see the truck.
Yeah. But that Stephanie girl says the video is of Austin getting in his truck, getting out, taking something out. Yes. Literally, she said it was a video of him taking something out.
And then she came back and said she had never seen that, but her people had said they seen that. Yeah. And Austin said you can see the truck there. You know, he doesn't. And one of the things that I told Austin, I wish she just would have brought it up. They said he was dropped off with a Nissan, a black Nissan. And then it was a Nissan Accord.
A Honda Accord.
I'm sorry. A black Accord. What?
Honda is Accord.
Yeah.
Nissan Maximum or something.
But it wasn't a Nissan.
No.
But he was dropped off.
But somewhere in the mix, they said it could have possibly been an Acura. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But Acuras and Hondas look alike anyway.
So you can either here or there and stuff. But I said I just want to make sure that, because I wish he would have just said that. Yeah, dropped off with a black. He didn't take it. I know he didn't take it.
After all of this, at first I thought, oh, this is a kid pulling the wool over his dad's eyes, da-da-da-da-da. But then, I mean, that was just off the original call. I'm like, yeah, this is a poor dad who thinks his kid does something wrong.
Right, exactly.
But I didn't understand, like, you had to rip stuff out of from under the dash to steal it. And I didn't understand that at first.
And neither did I.
And really, when you think about it, what benefit would it have been to him to steal it out of his own truck? Really, there is no benefit.
There is no benefit.
Unless he was trying to squeeze some coin out of B&M. I'm just saying that, and that doesn't even make sense.
That would be the only thing, because insurance is only $650 or something like that, so insurance is not gonna cover it, it's $1,000 deductible. And then to take that and call the cops on that,
Yeah.
and like his dad said, it sounds like he makes a pretty good point
Yeah.
for his job.
Yeah. I'm buying for the first time, I've had it before, I am buying a bottle of Dom Perignon.
Oh, are you really?
That's my birthday present to my kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He likes the designer, this and that, and...
Where are you getting it at?
Well, I was going to get it at Sam's Club, but they don't have, they're out of stock.
I think Costco had it.
I don't know if they have it right now.
Is this woman fucking what?
No, she's just telling you.
So, is there fucking stuff on the video or not?
Not that it shows anything, no.
Do you want to see? Do you want to see the police report? I have it highlighted for you.
I know.
You want to read it to her? Okay.
Yeah, I think she just tried. She was just being very hesitant before because of her friend over at B&S. That's it.
Aruba and IGO construction by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Aruba. K-Hal News Time, 103.
And I don't think she was
I thought Costco didn't carry alcohol over here.
Oh, absolutely.
This one does at Park Meadows?
Yeah.
I'll check. I want to buy I haven't bought Miles' birthday present yet, and I'm buying him a bottle of Dom Perignon. And so I'm trying to figure the cheapest place to get it. Sam's is out.
They have a huge, now I thought I've seen Dom Perignon there. I don't know if they've got it.
They usually, I know they have it around the holidays.
They have a huge selection of wine. Huge selection.
Because I was going to be buying it over that way anyway at Total Wine and More. That's the cheapest I could find it.
I used to stop by
It
there.
ranges from $150 to $200.
For them too.
What?
They have the good cinnamon rolls.
I am not buying his cinnamon rolls. I'll eat them all. Well, if
and Dom Perignon.
They taste okay. I know. I'm going to make him give me a glass of it and see if I like it.
And the black bear cover at its paws burned.
Let the record.
Did you get that email shot off yet, or are you still working on it?
Right now.
Oh, okay.
Now, impact traffic. This report is sponsored by Lifetime Windows and Siding.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center.
Yeah, I don't think she told.
Stays semi-fire.
Four.
That stretch stop and go from just past Avenue.
And that's because
an accident on North
friend
Valley
is
25
being
at Full Path has been cleared, but still sluggish on that stretch from University to Spear, and roadwork backing things up on southbound Santa Fe between poles.
Yeah, so this Tyrone and stuff, it's coming from the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Berlin. And their email is Hotmail. I don't think the Archdiocese is
Lifetime Windows and Siding makes call
one, folks. There.
New-View.
I called Tyrone last night because he had texted me. And I said, after looking at your emails, I said, there's no doubt that this is a scam. He says, you people just don't want to help me. And then he hung up.
Yeah. Why would we go through all that shit not to help? You know? So ridiculous. I mean, when people, you know, that one woman, remember, she was afraid to tell us about what happened.
She was embarrassed, right?
You know why I do commercials for Simply4Zinc.com? Because I personally...
And I still don't see why you would send a bank card through customs.
You have to check out Simply4Zinc.com.
Oh, this is what I was going to show you.
LVT that's scratch resistant and waterproof. They also have the most
Tell me
beautiful
this.
of hardwood and carpet. They do free design services and
So
they
this
can
is his
save
proof.
you up to 40% from the
That
big
envelope
box
and
stores.
stuff. Apparently they took a picture of it.
The best prices simply.
He says, see, look at the stamps, he says, they're from Ghana.
Mornings at 6. What are the key technologies likely to...
10 seconds.
Yeah, he's 70-year-old.
Poor guy was taken for a ride.
Yeah.
Did you tell him not to do anymore?
Monday morning at 8:05.
I said they're trying to squeeze you. You know, then he hung up before I could really talk to him. Right.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Your Troubleshooter, welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by Harris Family Law. a wonderful law firm to represent you during a very difficult time, divorce or child custody issues or support or whatever there is. And they can do unbundled services, which means if you just need them for one issue, they can help you through that issue. They don't have to make it a whole big deal. Yeah, they can, and they can even help you with you doing some of the work if you want assistance. So unbundled services, self-assistance, self-help, also free webinars every Wednesday evening, and then they have what I love, which is an early neutral assessment where they take a look at divorce and what it will look like to you and actually tell you what you can expect from a neutral standpoint so you decide if you want to go forward and how you want to go forward. This is a great law firm, and I've known Rich Harris for almost the whole time I've been here in Denver. HarrisFamilyLaw.com, 303-515-5000, 303-515-5000. All right, I want to quickly recap, and then people who are interested can listen to past shows, because this, I just want to get this behind us, but give Kate every opportunity. She deserves it. Bottom line, this guy said he brought his truck to a shop, B&M Transmission. While it was there, a computer is missing. Now, he made it clear he thought they took it or they left it unlocked. Someone else took it. When we called, B&M Transmission was adamant that he is lying and he took it. Austin took it. And they had surveillance video showing it. Now, trust me, they might want to walk that back now, but that is exactly what Stephanie said, and she was adamant about it. She said 3 of her employees saw it, including the service manager. She said it was gotten from Colorado Stone Services next door. Deputy Doc called the sheriff's department. We got the police report, which says the surveillance cameras on the video.
I highlighted it for you, Tom.
You're unable, that's right, unable to locate any footage of any kind of trespass, and that she would call me if she found anything to the contrary. Now, also, Deputy Doc called Kate earlier, and she said, no, you don't really see anything. So that was where we left it. But when then Kate came back on the air, when we confronted Stephanie, she said, yes, there was video of a pickup truck, and there was video of Austin getting out of it, and that was it. All right, so now it's contrary to what she said in the beginning, but I don't care. I mean, here's what I think. I think the whole thing's silly. All Stephanie had to say in the beginning was, we have no idea what happened to the computer. Because I haven't made the conclusion that Stephanie or her staff took it. The only thing that made us suspicious was she immediately accused Austin of lying. Not just saying, hey, we have no idea what happened to it. That would have been the smartest response. So I always say, why do people go further? Why do they make up a story? Now, here's another thing I want to make clear. And that is that I don't doubt that Austin went there that day to pick up his truck. Everyone agrees to that. So, you know, the point isn't that he didn't go there. She said he went there before they opened. And it was like 7:20 in the morning.
He did go there early before it opened, but he didn't go over by the truck.
Okay. Did he go there at 7:20 in the morning?
He can't remember the times.
Okay. And what did he go there for?
He was hoping, they said the truck was going to be ready. He needed it, so he's hoping he could pick it up.
So he went there and looked in the window and tried to knock on the door, did he?
Yes.
Okay, good. So Stephanie was telling the truth about that.
Right.
Good. So he went there to check to see if they were open.
Right.
Then he came back later.
No, then he stuck around until they opened it up.
Okay. He stuck around.
Yes.
Okay. But during that time is when he supposedly removed the computer.
Correct.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you for clarifying that. Okay, Kate, so by the way, now you're the owner of Colorado Stone, one of them, and then I will let you say whatever you want because that's where we're at, and then you were talking about the video. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, he did come early, just like everybody states. I mean, that was viewed on the video. Other than that, I mean, it's kind of far away, just like police report said, it's really hard to see anything else. You do see him, and you do see the pickup truck, and that's really all you can see.
Do you see him getting, she was specific about this, that you saw him getting out of his pickup truck. Do you see that?
I don't have any record of that.
Okay.
But
all right.
To be fair, like, my video only keeps anything that has motion on it, and I don't think that it can see the motion from that far away. So it's, there's only a couple of parts on there.
All right.
There's nothing on there that'll show that.
Well, actually, okay, that's fine.
To be honest, I just kind of want to say, like, I talked to Austin. I thought he was a very nice kid. There was nothing that made me suspicious.
And really, Kate, you have nothing to do with this, really. I mean, truly, you shouldn't be dragged into it.
That was my point. I don't want to be a part of this.
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you because you don't want to take a stand one way or the other, and I don't blame you. I have no idea what happened to that computer. I have not made a conclusion as to what happened to it.
I'll also say this because I mean, obviously I have. I'm right next door to B&M, and we've been here 2 years. They've been good neighbors. I've never had any problems.
Okay.
And, I've even had them work on my cars without any issues.
Okay.
So, I just don't want to.
Listen, I understand you're in a really weird position. I'm not, by the way, asking you to call them liars. I'm not asking you to say that you saw Austin steal something or not. I wanted to know what the hell is on this video. Yes, there is a video. We all agreed there was a video, but what I said was that according to what we found out, there was no video of him actually getting out of his truck with something and getting into another vehicle and speeding off, because the deputy said that the video didn't even show that much of the yard over there.
That's right. There wasn't enough to see, and that was all. Yeah.
And now, as a friend, and you don't have to answer this, but as a friend of Stephanie's, she was really. And I got to mention this. She's only listening to her employees. She didn't come up with the story about the video. Her employees said it. They said they saw the video. They saw Austin getting in his truck. So did she talk to those employees? Because without wanting to, she stuck up for her employees without realizing it didn't look so good. I mean, because maybe one of those employees were not telling the whole truth. I'm not saying they took it, but for some reason, some of those employees wanted her to believe that this kid took it. And by the way, it would have taken time to get in there, dismantle the dash, and take it all out, and then put the dash back together. I mean, if you were going to be a thief, I think you would just rip it out of there. So who knows what the hell happened to this computer? I mean, I really don't have any idea. But I will tell you this, if I ever found out Austin did it, I'd never shut up about it. But what was your gut feeling on it, Dan? That was he being straight?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I talked to him a couple times and stuff,
okay.
And because I wanted to clear the air and make sure that he didn't have anything else that he could
really.
add to
We
it.
don't want to be, in other words, submarine. We don't want to be sticking up for somebody and have him lie about
it.
Anyway, Kate, I appreciate you calling in. Honest to goodness.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
Yeah, the owners of B&M did try to come in to see the video to to see if they could see anything. They were honestly concerned if somebody stole something. So,
you know what? I don't think Stephanie knows anything about it. I don't think she did anything. I really don't, and I mean that. I never did. I
think she has a rogue employee, Tom.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. Or somebody who knows one of the employees or somebody who was there. And what I think was the mistake is when Stephanie just took all of her employees' words and started repeating them as her own, because she even admitted she never saw that video. So, anyway, I appreciate you calling, Kate. I really do. I really am happy you called. Thank you. And I'm glad you had, you got your say, Colorado Stone Services. Thank you. We have more coming up.
All right, 30 seconds since you're and I got Mark at 8 p.m.
Podcast is back for season 2 in 2016.
I mean, you could tell this woman doesn't want to be involved.
Today,
of course.
A local
Who would want
for a wait trial for these murders.
The podcast examines the details of this horrific case.
They're accused of doing this together. They're accused of trying to cover it up together.
This guy sent the vaccinations and actually said that Asians are higher than whites.
Hey, SentryRV.com. That's where you go to get a Cougar. Hey, don't have a dirty mind. I'm talking about the Cougar RVs. Do you know they're one of the most popular selling travel trailers around? Seriously, they have not wholesale pricing, internet pricing, I call it. So they have Cougar and Kodiak and Springdale campers. Do you know that new Springdale campers are around 10 grand? 2 locations for Century RV. You have up north at exit 240 and I-25. And then you have out west, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims next to Woodley's. That's SentryRV.com, 303-453-1111. New and used, plus service. In their north facility, they're building a new service department. They're great people. SentryRV.com. And by the way, you can see an article about that at 303consumer.com, the new consumer magazine, where you can download your digital copy, 303consumer.com.
You know, sometimes you just want something repaired. You don't want to replace it. I don't care if it's a refrigerator, a furnace, or an air conditioning unit. That's what the folks at 888heating.com do. They give you choices.
A vaccine and whites. That's not really true according to the CDC. I mean, I don't know where they got that. Wait, he's looking at the same site I looked at. Wait a second. The same exact site. Hold on. Right here. Okay? John, I'm looking at the same site. So I click on Asian, and you have little to no participation. Then you look at white. Now, come on, John. Is he listening online? John, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm looking at the same one. I don't think he's clicking. Look. Click here, right? Percent of vaccinations. That's Asian. That's Asian. Look.
That's from those states there, right?
Yeah, look. Look, just look at them. Now look at whites. Ready? Look.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's talking about. John, you're all wet. You're totally all wet.
Call us today for your free in-home estimate. We'll even take 20% off our already low price and receive 0%.
Hey, bro, you're all wet.
Asian people sure. But there is less Asian though. See, there is less. That just has the percent of people vaccinated.
That's right, but that's percent, but not percent of the population.
This isn't a percent of the population. No, I think it's a percent of the population. So look at Hawaii there.
It's percent of their ethnicity.
I don't think this is. I think it's a percent of the...
Wait a minute. Come on.
Down below, it's got... See, look at Hawaii.
All the commission, and
it's 4%.
Zero commission to sell.
I know, but why now? Obviously, fucking obviously, whites would always have higher percentages if they did that. That stat would be nothing, Dan.
Well, here it has a stat down below there.
The Mongolians have no vaccinations. No, seriously.
Keep on going down. Go down lower in that site.
Okay.
$1,000 in commission. That is
there's total of 42 states where it says a total of total population, and it's got the ratios.
Okay, hold on. Where are we then? White to black.
Or visit Gayspell, Gaye has the buyers.
What does this mean? Percent vaccinated doesn't mean percent of that population.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
White to Asian. See, I don't understand. Maybe I don't understand the way this data is presented.
Well, see, it's got so it also has a ratio, white to Asian ratio on that, and that's the only.
But what does that mean, white to white? What does it mean?
How many whites versus how many that? So if it's got a higher than one, they have less.
Unexplained weight loss and abilities.
Do you know Colorado has one of the best participants? Oh wait, Iowa. Wow. This is a good site, by the way. You know that?
Well, but 42 states are doing it. It's not every state.
And how often they were happening.
But there's
good
news.
Only 42 states participate.
Well, I know, but it's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask if I have EPI.
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey guys, you've been hearing a lot about how well CBD has been working for something like aches and pains, and goodness knows I've got a few.
But that top one is just the percent of vaccinations.
Blue Sky CBD. The more
Yeah,
aware I am on
but
how
that
much is helping.
but that
We
is
talked
just
about
totally
using the
meaningless.
shoulder
I mean,
a while back, so
in
I
other
thought
words,
in that direction.
you know, when they, of course, white will always be the high.
Because there's more whites in there.
Now listen, when it says percent of vaccinations, it,
The very top one, figure one. You're saying figure one.
just say, take a white Alabama, right? Just take that one, 69%, right? That means 69% of the whites.
No, it means 69% of the people vaccinated are white.
Well, of course.
You're right.
Well, then that makes no sense. Why have this one?
That's just
It will always be higher.
And that's why the below, you've got to go to the below one there, that figure 2, to really see what that is. Because you're right. So if you add percent of all that up, so that's 69 there, and then the Asians in Alabama, it's 2.5, and the Hispanics are 5, and the blacks are 24. So if you add all those up,
Well,
it's 100%.
Adam, I don't believe. I think that's a neat. Dan, that's like saying what percent of the who commits the most crimes? Whites do, because there are more whites. No, what I'm getting at is this is an unfair stat.
Right. Well, they're just like say that's just one thing that they're going by.
Well, it's the most stupid thing I've ever seen if that's what they're doing. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Now, let me get Tony, who's been waiting a while, and I lost him last time. I'm sorry, Tony. Go ahead. What's happening with you, man?
Yeah, I'll take a look.
What's going on?
Yeah. So, hello.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Okay, fantastic. So, we got disconnected there. I was asking about more or less how my realtor is going to be paid if we're doing a new
let me explain this to you, okay? No matter what, the money comes out of the transaction, okay? That's it in a nutshell. And it depends on the contract. Usually, when you go to a home builder, the only way they pay a co-op is if they agree to. And they have to do it up front. You can't go look at houses, then come back with a real estate broker. They will not recognize the broker. So, did you tell them up front you had a real estate person?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, did they say they pay co-ops?
They didn't say anything of that such. They said that they didn't mind working with the realtor.
Okay.
More or less, I was smart to include one to, kind of go over everything.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But let me explain something. Let's say you're building a home, or they're building a home, and the price, I'm going to take artificial prices, and they say the price is $200,000. But somebody else comes in and says, I'm working with a real estate person, and they say the house is $214,000. How would you know?
I would.
That's right. And that's exactly what happens. They don't take less money. They don't. They never take less money. They simply will increase their costs somewhere to make up for it. Now, if it's advertised, listen to this, as, let's say advertised as $485,000 with a note, we pay co-ops, then it's $485,000, period. Okay? Then, we pay co-ops or realtors welcome, or it might say no co-ops. Now, here's the thing. Let's say it says $485K, co-ops welcome, realtors welcome, and then you go and say, I don't have a real estate person. I'd like to negotiate a better price. 9 times out of 10, they'll do it. They'll lower it. So what I'm getting at is this. No matter who they say is paying the commission, there is no manufacturing of money. It comes out of the transaction. That's it. Mm-hmm. So these guys that advertise, we're going to get the seller to pay the buyer to pay the commission. All right, how does that buyer pay commission? Well, you're selling your house for a certain amount of money, right? And if the buyer's going to pay the commission, that buyer then, listen, if it's on top of the sale of the house, that buyer is going to offer less for the house. And if people say, oh, no, they won't, because they really want the house, well, then they would pay more for the house anyway, whether you call it commission or not. It doesn't matter. When people are competing for a house and they pay more, they pay more. If they won't pay more, they don't pay more. The price is always going to be the price. It's really artificial. What I'm saying is, it's artificial. What you should concern yourself with is what the real estate person is charging in co-op. Okay? It should never be more than 2.8. Did your real estate buyer's broker say what they would add to it?
No.
Well, you know what? You don't even have a contract with her, so you don't have to use her.
No.
Okay? But I mean,
and she did say that too. she said I don't have to use her. I can let her go at any point in time.
Man, she sounds like a really nice person. Seriously. Now, if you use her, then you need to get a buyer's agreement. You got to get one, an agency agreement saying she represents you and what her co-op will be on the deal. You need to know that because you can negotiate that down.
Okay.
Like, for example, Tony, if you found the house and she didn't have to work her ass off, and all she's doing is helping you with the forms and all that, then I would only pay up 1%. Why would you pay more? Now, if she went out and found the house and negotiated a deal and all of that, then she would deserve more. I would go by what they do. I wouldn't do an automatic percentage. I just wouldn't. Now, Bill, go ahead. What's happening with you, Bill?
Well, it's just how you described the process of finding, dead people for collectors.
No, I didn't do that, but Blake Harris did from Blake Harris Law. Explain, clarify what you're saying, Bill. We want to make everything correct.
Yeah, coming from 25 years in the collection industry.
Yeah.
It really is a sifting process. And part of the skip tracing department is finding dead people. And it's just a sifting process, and eventually you'll find something you can't get a hold of, and then computers do the sifting at night, and they do the skimming through web searches like LexisNexis, for instance. And
but I don't really know if anything he said conflicted with that. He just basically said that you don't have to go out looking for them.
No, it was your description of how they're sitting over, pondering over public records, looking for stuff like that.
I asked if they did. I said, do they go through the internet, or what do they do to find dead people is what I asked.
Yeah, it's really the computers that do it, Tom.
Good, that's wonderful.
Do it.
I mean, otherwise people would go crazy. So here's what I want to know, though. What if an account is in good standing, and then all of a sudden someone dies? Then eventually somebody is assigned to that account because payments stop being made?
Yeah, once it gets 90 days delinquent, it goes over to a third party, too. The first 90 days are done in-house.
Now, let me ask you something. What kind of bills were you collecting on?
I did all kinds. I mean, you name it. You name the client, I was there.
Okay, here's what I want to ask. Which ones are more likely to go after an estate, to actually put a claim in with the estate?
Well, when I collected for, I can't even think of the name of the client now, but it was a credit card account, Cap One.
Yeah.
Cap One. We collected on all kinds of dead people. As soon as we would find out there was a probate, we would put it over into the probate department, and they would go after it.
Okay, so they were a credit card company, pretty aggressive in going after, so if there were any assets, they made sure they got paid.
Absolutely.
Okay, now what happens if there are a lot of creditors and not enough assets? Does a judge divide it up, or what? Or is it first come, first served?
That's part of the probate law. That's not my department. I was a collector.
All right, well, thank you very much for that insight. I appreciate that. 303-713-8255.
All right, about 1 minute. There, get number. An iHeartRadio station available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by.
It does add up to 100%. Okay, that's figure 2. Figure 2 actually breaks it down. So stupid. It's just
a meaningless statistic. It doesn't.
It's not a statistic. It's just saying how many were done.
I know, but
you're right.
I mean, you're just. plaque. I mean,
but it breaks it down. Figure 2 breaks it down. In almost all states.
I'd like to know what percentage of the people.
That's what figure 2 does.
Almost all the way back to I-25, Fox 30.
Where? I want to know that figure. That's what we should talk about. And we probably can't do it today, but I want to do that.
Yeah, it's got, of the white
Where
people,
is it?
Keep on scrolling down that figure 2.
So, are you saying 40%? That one? Total? 42 say?
Right.
Then where's black?
Black is the next one over, 27%.
It doesn't say that.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't say black under that. It
You see
says
black? No, black is on the top there. You see that?
Yeah, but it doesn't say black is over percent vaccinated. Okay.
That's the second one.
If you are in need of a criminal defense attorney, the last thing you want to do is shop when you're under pressure. Okay? So, because then they're going to want retainers. You're not going to know who they are, if you should use them. I've done the shopping for you. I hope you never need a criminal defense attorney. That includes, by the way, DUI and serious traffic offenses and other things, disorderly conduct, who knows. Joe Lazzara is a defense attorney. Now, take his name because I've done the shopping. You may use him or refer him to somebody, but you can trust him. Flat rate pricing, he won't nickel and dime you. That's Joe Lazzara. Find him at referralist.com, 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. So, you've been hearing me talk about my new 303consumer.com where you can download your digital copy of my consumer magazine with articles and deals. Well, guess who I called to help optimize that site? You guessed it. GetFoundFast.com. I don't just advertise for them. I'm a customer. I say, look, I need to optimize this website, make the most out of it. Help me. And they do. GetFoundFast.com will help you with a free analysis of your website. Really free, and they will give you suggestions. If you decide to hire them, all the better, but it's not obligated. GetFoundFast.com. Okay, Dan, look, this says percent vaccinated white. Where's percent vaccinated black? Where's percent vaccinated
See black right there? Right there.
This doesn't say black up here.
That is, see, this here is the blacks right
Oh,
there. But
come on.
this here is a
Then why
Hispanic.
does this only have one column?
Because it's all compared to whites. It's all compared. So that's what I'm saying. See these darker lines here?
So you're saying there's 40% of whites, 27% of blacks, 29%, and then 50% of Asians?
Yes. That's it. In those 42 states.
Then I was totally misreading it.
Well, you were looking at total.
Yeah,
the other thing, which is
nothing. Okay. I should talk about that, but I don't know if I'm going to have time. And then what's the best? Is there a total or like?
That's 42 states that participated apparently. If you go some of the states, in the Asians, I mean. And then if you look at that ratio, so that ratio is white to Asian ratio. So that basically says, so like in Colorado, Asians have a less percentage than whites in Colorado. But Colorado's got 50%, so Connecticut's 56. Who's got the highest? 58. Massachusetts has the highest.
What's the lowest?
Of which group?
Virginia. Just whites. Virginia.
26.
No, 24 Idaho. 24% Idaho.
Susan's become a familiar face in town. She's kept herself.
See, that's another misleading. Percent vaccinated of black in Idaho is way high because it's a smaller state. It's just, this is fucked.
And then you got to go on up. Then you could go up for Idaho on there and click on. That's all. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's hard to throw all those together in one chart.
Fairway Collision Center is a family-owned auto body shop that gives you quality workmanship at a fair, competitive price. Since 1994, neighbors have received great service, whether it's repairing a small dent or restoring your.
But it just shows, according to that, there is a discrepancy in percentage of vaccinated.
Yeah, in other words, white people get vaccinated the most. Well, Asians. Why do you suppose Asians do?
The more you buy, the more you save. In honor of Mother's Day, for K&H Home Solutions, buy a door, 25% off. And soft light windows, Energy Partner of the Year for sustained excellence 7 years running. 30% off. Or give the whole house a facelift with 35% off windows, siding, and doors. Plus, you're dealing with a company 65 years strong. The best products, installation, and warranties. Windows, roofing, siding, and doors. K&H has what you're looking for. Massive discounts. This month only. Make your own appointment at khwindows.com. That's khwindows.com.
K&H Home Solutions has what you're looking for.
I donate plasma with BioLife because I like giving back.
I donate plasma with BioLife because people living with immune deficiencies need my help today.
I donate plasma with BioLife because I don't have a good reason not to.
I donate plasma with BioLife because I get paid.
I donate plasma with BioLife because
I want to Colorado start offering money to young kids
because I buy a TV for my bathroom one day.
Whatever your reason, BioLife makes it easy to earn up to $1,000 in your first month of donating. BioLife. There's purpose in your plasma. Visit biolifeplasma.com to learn more.
AC running nonstop, shocking electric bills, a quiet, cool whole house fan is the answer. Visit QCColorado.com.
Weekdays 2 to 4. The Situation with Michael Brown. Proving that our enemies know that Joe Biden is a weak president. Lebanon is now firing bombs at Israel. Talk about it in 2.
All right, sorry, you're back. Here you go. Just whenever you're ready, no rush.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, we have to correct, Dano, real quickly. When I said participation in vaccines, whites were the most. It's not. Asians were the most. Whites were second because John Little brought this out, one of our listeners. Okay, so Asians are the highest percentage of their community, right? And then whites are next. Asians are what, 50% of their community? Whites are what, how many? 40%. Then, what's next? Hispanics next. 29% of their community. And blacks? 27%. Ants, what about that guy that called in? And I'm asking you because you're a young black man. If people are listening, they don't know. And he said blacks are reluctant because they go back to the Tuskegee days. What do you think?
Yeah, well, not just the Tuskegee experiments. That's just one.
Do you think? Like no, seriously. Have you picked up that blacks are distrustful of the vaccine program? Seriously?
Definitely, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Just from like my family.
Like in what way? Like in what way? Like they feel like maybe
general like they some of people them who have like done experiments, they go back to MK Ultra, which was just general testing on not just black Americans but just Americans in general that the government didn't tell you about, and then the Tuskegee experiments. So some of them go back and cite that, and then sometimes it's just general mistrust of the government. A lot of black people just don't trust the government the same way they don't trust the police force. They just don't really trust anything that's tied to the government. So. And then, like, a lot of them are saying, it's the mask mandate or the lifting of the mask mandates is sort of like, they only want you to get the vaccine so that you don't have to wear a mask anymore. They think there's some kind of ulterior motive behind making you get the vaccine as opposed to just wanting you to get the vaccine. That's the general consensus that I gotten from, like, a lot of my family members, a lot of my friends who are black.
Can I ask you something, though, Ann, seriously now? And I don't want to get into a big discussion now, but maybe some other time. Certainly, and I don't know because I don't live every day in the community. You don't either, really. I mean, but you really have a pulse more than I would. So, are blacks happier though that the whole move of the country is toward more equality, or is that just a bunch of crap to them? Do they not really believe it? No, I'm serious. I'm serious. If nothing else. With the black studies in schools and the 1619 Project and what is it, critical race theory, does this make you happy? Seriously, does it make? Are you happy? Now, some people are complaining it's too much. It's too much. So I want to ask you, what is it? How do you feel about that? All this proactive stuff going on with progressives, how do you feel about it?
You want my honest opinion?
Yes, I do.
I'm happy that it's being talked about, but I wish that so many that like there would be more conversation as opposed to more like the 1619 Project. Just a lot of it seems like is being pushed forward so fast and so much in a hurry that it creates more so division than.
That's right. I think
we should just slow it down.
People think it's being shoved down their throat, is what I think.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. If we were to slow it down and have more conversations and give more people leeway and stop, throwing insults on each side so much.
Right.
Just slow it down, basically. I like that it's being talked about, but I wish that it wouldn't be rammed through, with such aggressiveness.
Okay, cool. Chris, and again, that deserves a whole different conversation when we have more time. But hey, Chris, what is this follow-up to? I'm trying to place the original call. When did you call, sir?
Well, I've been on twice previously. The last time was a few weeks ago.
Okay, I'm looking in my records there. So, Chris, was it? Let's see. I don't quite see it.
I
But
don't
anyway.
remember his call.
Yeah, but keep going. What was the problem originally, and what's the follow-up?
It was about a roofing contractor up here in Loveland, Colorado, Ira Siegel, Colorado Storm Solutions.
Yes, I remember the name.
You folks tried to call him when I was on air the first time, and he refused. He said it's all drama. I've gone through every agency known to man to get some kind of assistance. I've exhausted
What basically did he do? He did a roof for you, is that right?
He did a roof that's been inspected now 5 times, including by the county inspector. It has failed every single time.
Ira Siegel, what's the name of his company?
Colorado Storm Solutions.
He did a roof, Colorado Storm Solutions, that failed 5 times.
Including the county who failed it. And they investigated, and as of last Friday, they revoked his licensing privileges for the county here.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, we need to find a photo of him, Suze. We need to get him on the Sleaze Brigade. Plus, we need to go after him. Listen, you have some legal recourse here. I don't know how far you want to push it. What did you pay for the roof?
It was over $16,000. The whole roof needs to be replaced. And Ira...
How much was it? Hold on. How much?
It was over $16,000.
Oh, my God.
And I'll tell you, he told the the Larimer County building official, the chief official, that I got on my roof by myself, and I have this fear of heights, so that...
What did he say? Did he say you sabotaged your roof?
He said that I pulled out all the shingles, removed the ice shield underneath, then put all the shingles back on.
It's so ridiculous.
Without damaging them.
It is so ridiculous.
To get him in trouble. And this is a guy that's been to court 48 times. He's never satisfied a judgment. Why would I damage my
how
own
do you
property?
know? How do you know? By the way, we believe you, Chris. How do you know he's
open public records? Plus, I'm dealing with Lance Hernandez from Denver 7 now. He's looked up his criminal records or his court records.
Is Lance doing a story?
They're thinking about it.
Yeah.
We're going back and forth. But
did they ever send a camera crew?
Not yet. It was supposed to be yesterday, but he was reassigned, and so I don't know if it'll happen or not. But he's telling people. He's telling Denver News. He told Dan on your program, and now he's told the chief building official that I expose nails, I cut into shingles, I ripped shingles off, and I removed the ice shield underneath the shingles.
It's ridiculous. We got to put the guy out of business if everything you're saying is true. Dan,
it is true because this is Dan, Chris. He sent me pictures. Ira did, and I looked at them, and I says, "Why would he do this?"
Ira sent you pictures?
Yeah.
Hold on. Can you go back and find it?
I can go back and find it.
Listen, we need to resurrect this on Monday and go to war. Really.
And I also, when doing the social media posts, I've been contacted by other victims of his.
Yeah.
And I have one that's willing to be on your show, and I'm hoping
get him on.
He can join me next week.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm marking this right now as a follow-up, okay? And we are definitely going to look at this. So we're definitely looking at this. So I want you to go ahead.
Everything I say is true, and I have all the evidence in the world to back it. And he continues to deny the obvious. And now he's trying to get me. He's telling me now he's getting a restraining order against me because he doesn't feel safe or doesn't feel his family is safe. His family is his 2 kids. I'm friends with his now ex-wife. I have.
What's his phone number? What's the?
I gave it to you guys before. I don't have it right in front of me.
Damn.
I don't have it right in front of me, but I can probably find it.
We're going to go to war on Monday. We're going to go to war. This guy needs to be out of business.
Oh, he's a bully that finally got caught, and now he's,
Ira Siegel, Colorado Storm Solution. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not a vulnerable adult. Those are the people he intimidates and threatens, and it works. That's why a lot of the people that contact me are afraid of him, so they don't want me standing up for them or speaking on their behalf. But I have one person who is willing now, and he stole $10,000, took the money and ran, literally.
Wait.
And never...
Do you know if he's violating the Colorado Trust Act, Contractors Trust Act, where he's taking money and not putting it aside, not using it for the job, he can be put in jail?
Well, and he's on probation currently. His probation officer ignores my phone call.
Wait. Is he truly on probation?
Truly.
He's been sued more than 40 times.
He's been to court for drug, alcohol charges, DUI, for his business because of poor practices, tax evasion, or the Colorado Department of Revenue.
Can you send us that information?
Yeah. It's just in the Larimer County Public Records.
I know. We'll look it up. Suzanne, let's do a background on him from Larimer County where he did it. I want to get all this information. This guy shouldn't be in business.
And I can send Dan some, and I've sent him before statements from people that he has stolen from, tried to extort money from.
Give me an idea. Tell me about this guy. How old is this guy?
He is around 50, 48 to 50 years old.
Where does he live, or where, not live like his address, but where does he do business?
And he's based in Loveland. He's a few miles from my house. He's
based in Loveland.
Across town. Yeah, Loveland, Colorado.
How'd you find him? How the hell did you find him?
Again, I'm friends with his wife, and they were in a poor financial situation, and I needed work done on my house.
Well, is it still his wife or his ex-wife?
Oh, no. He's on probation now for assaulting her. He was arrested, domestic violence. She said that's not going to play here, and he never returned to the house. She divorced him because of, I'm sure because of a lot of things, but mainly that. But
my goodness gracious. Yeah. All right. We're going to take this up Monday. Hold on, and we're going to try to find him.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored.
It was just ridiculous, the stuff he was sending.
That sucks. This guy, try to find anything you have, okay, man? Okay. I definitely want to follow this up.
Stop and go from just past 6th Avenue. Otherwise, just the typical
I didn't
Friday
know about
afternoon volume flowing around town. I-25 sluggish in both directions heading into downtown. And on the freeway, there's a...
Should I keep this police report, or do you have a digital copy?
Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly to mostly...
On the phone, real quick on call.
Related thunderstorms will cool off to the upper 40s overnight tonight. It's 68 right now.
It actually has an okay website.
I'm Jenny LaRose.
Try to get a photo.
Susie Wharton here for lifetime winners.
18 states are finally ending the extra unemployment benefits.
Fiberglass.
10 seconds, become the banker.
Get you more glass and bigger views. Enjoy more Colorado views and get 40% off. Call 1-800-NEW-VIEW.
Become the Banker is an investment strategy. It says become the banker because the idea is to give you a pool of money that you can use instead of credit cards, and then ultimately use it for retirement, hence the name Become the Banker. Okay? The money grows in an account that's tax-free and can be accessed tax-free. It also can be used throughout your life and in retirement. It's not a qualified plan, so you're not limited at all. You can make it as big or as small as you want. Find out more. BecomeTheBanker.org. 303-779-6600.
The Piketon Massacre, a riveting true crime podcast, is back for season 2.
I am so out of here.
8 members of the same family today. A local family of 4 await trial for these murders. The podcast examines the details of this horrific
They're accused of putting this together. They're accused of trying to cover it up together as a family.
Listen to the Piketon Massacre on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
JP Morgan CEO says working from home doesn't work. I think it's been a smashing success for some people.
Reason she's had some very naughty and uncooperative teeth. Long story short, those teeth had to go.
I'm sorry, say it again.
JP Morgan says working from home, he doesn't like it.
Dental Associates and the Colorado Dental.
I think it works, don't you? I mean, who else? You got to be able.
Represent the leading edge of dental implant technology and care. Just several weeks ago, Aspenwood Dental completed an implant and what's called a 3-tooth bridge for Kristen. I can't say I understand it all, but what I know is that if you see Kristen's mouth now,
You know what?
thanks to
Fucking Biden took over and things start going to shit.
which are her original teeth and which
It's not him. When I say that, he's in a fog. Biden is in a fog. He does not know. There is no way he
But
has.
the weakness and perception of weakness plays into it, don't you think, Dan?
Oh yeah, but you know of course, that's because that's why they wanted him elected, because they could control him.
You know, do you think Dan Kaplan believes that Kamala Harris will be serving for his term?
That's very possible.
Do you believe that?
Blue Sky CBD.
What do you believe? Do you believe that?
I don't think he's going to look at. Watch him in an interview. You know, he's.
There, and it really has.
You know, they said about Reagan that after he got shot and stuff. Why does he? I don't know if they love him.
Oh, bullshit!
I think they love
not having
his
Trump.
administration.
You think they love not having Trump?
Oh, of course.
Check out.
And I don't, I ask people who hate Trump, I says, well, what policy would you like? Trump, what policy? And I agree, his policy was bad. But look at his policies.
But you want to know something? He really, when I thought about what an asshole he was, he really, they never gave him a fucking
not a chance from the very beginning, right?
I agree. I mean, how would I react if I was being attacked?
Right. How would Obama acted if he was loved by the media. If he would have been beat up, in fact, anytime Fox said anything, right? And that's what gets me about that. When you have the media loving you, and like I say, this stuff with the economy, they basically are keeping people, tell them not to work. With this unemployment.
Well, here's the worst part.
It's not good.
What's going to happen? The White House is going after landlords for trying to get their money. How are they going to get out of that? How are they going to get out of it? At some point, these fucking landlords have to be able to evict. At some point.
Right, of course.
What's going to happen?
Oh, there's going to be lawsuits everywhere.
When these tenants, where are they going to go? To another landlord when they just fucked one?
Yep. No, it's
this eviction bubble.
Well, and then
the eviction bubble,
and then they're going to try to get it so that you can't do a credit check. What they're doing is they're just flip flopping everything.
They're trying to just.
They're buying votes. They're buying votes.
That's exactly right.
So Ben, I know you're listening. That's why I don't like Democrats. They absolutely buy votes. You could just as well start.
I'll tell you who I don't like. I don't like. Let me pick one. Matt. I don't know. It's just somebody out there. I don't like Dave Porterhouse. I don't like Ben Porterhouse. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Just to check to see if you're really listening. You may be off by now.
No, Ben said, after listening to me the last few days, you have nothing good to say about Democrats. And I said,
what is he?
I said, that is a good observation. I despise what they were doing with the economy. You don't like Trump's mouth?
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713.
I want to try to get to Fernando. Fernando, Mile High Auto Sales. What's going on with you, man? What went wrong?
Well, I'm calling on behalf of my stepdaughter. She went there on Wednesday to Mile High Autos in Denver. She wanted to purchase a vehicle, used vehicle. So she went there, test drove a car. She decided she liked it, went ahead and started filling out the paperwork. And while she was filling out the paperwork, she asked for the Carfax report. Twice she asked for it. He denied her the Carfax.
Then she should have walked out. She would have walked. Did she buy the car?
Well, no, I'll get to that.
Yeah.
But we didn't know she was there. She's never been to a car dealership. She wasn't supposed to be there. Her and her mom didn't know. So long story short, she finished all the paperwork. They gave her the Carfax. Turns out in the Carfax it says total loss due to hail damage. But it's never been repaired. So she never even left the dealership with the car.
Wait, Fernando. She bought the car, didn't she?
Correct, yes.
God almighty, I can't believe.
Well,
so
he undid the deal, but kept $500.
Well, hold on. Oh, what a scumbag. Holy crap. So he takes this young woman, and he just makes her sign, not makes her, but leads her to sign something, gives her a Carfax. She backs out, and he gets $500. That's probably his total profit anyway. Now, what's the name of this store?
It is Mile High Auto Sales LLC in Denver on 77.
We need to go after them, man. I mean, why did she sign all the paperwork?
Tom, she called us after the fact, and her and her mom were very upset because we didn't even know she was at a dealership. She's never bought a car before. She has $5,500 to buy a used car, and she gave the gentleman all the money, and then she called us after the fact saying that he won't give her back $500 and then I actually spoke to him. She was still at the office and called on her cell phone. When I spoke to him, he said he's undoing the deal and he doesn't have to, but he's going to keep $500.
He doesn't have to undo the deal. I mean, she did everything wrong. It doesn't matter if she took delivery or not. This is a myth. It doesn't matter if she took delivery. And here's the thing, Fernando. When she was asking for a Carfax and he refused, why didn't she leave?
And there's no 3-day right.
Oh, listen, I need to get you back on because we need to at least warn people about Mile High Auto Sales LLC and make them earn the $500. I'm serious, Suze. I want this guy on Monday. I want to make them earn that money. I'm Tom Martino. You've heard so many screw jobs on this show. Now you know why we do what we do. Please don't forget referralist.com for help, information, and referrals, and 303consumer.com.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the